Here we go. Welcome to episode 6 of the OurTeam podcast. We made it to 6 weeks, so this is officially a thing now. I think it's a regular thing. Before I introduce the guest this week, I want to say a massive thank you to the support on last week's podcast. It doubled all of our numbers again. Feedback's unbelievable. This is such an amazing thing. So anyone who's watching the premiere, subbed, commented, any of that stuff, I would say a big thank you. But let's get into the lineup this week because it's another banger. We got Mosballin back. How you doing, bro?
Great, man. Great. This time I'm doing it in a whole different place. I'm out here in Egypt, so it's nice to be on the same time zone as you.
No awkward Jacob intro today?
Nah, not today, man. I can't keep that going. It was tough last time. I felt cringe afterwards.
It was pretty bad. We got Wildmont. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, I told y'all I've never used Zoom before, so I gotta reach over to click. I'm doing fine, bro. I just came from getting punched in the head. That's about how my day goes on Saturdays from now on, bro. This is the life of a kickboxer. It'd be like that sometimes.
I think after 250k, a lot of people are gonna feel like they just got punched.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be angry. They're gonna be angry. Them boys going crazy on Twitter, dog. It's
going off. It's going on. We got CP the dog. We got you on, man. Finally, how you doing, bro?
Hey, I'm doing great. Happy to be here. We have plenty of stuff to talk about today, man. Big day in my team.
Yeah, I think for the first time I might have too much content. I actually think there might be too much to talk
No such thing as too much content. No such thing.
We'll find out. It'll be the first ever 7-hour podcast. Let's see how it goes. Josh, you're back. Thanks for fitting us in this week. I appreciate it.
What's up, everybody? Feels good to be back. Felt bad about not being there last week, but man, I got a lot to talk about today. Got so much to say.
Yeah, good. Looking forward to hearing it. Ludes, how you doing, bro? Welcome back.
Oh, I'm good. I'm back. Right now I'm just looking at the the replies in the 2K official Twitch post right now, and this is wild. So I can't wait to talk about this. I think most people are gonna have to use that 250k for therapy after today, to be honest.
Yeah. I should point out we're recording this 3 hours into the qualifiers. So there's still an hour to go.
Yet.
Yeah, so they're going to finish halfway through the podcast, so we'll see how it goes. Right. Anyone played in 250 today or tried to play?
I did actually have a run at it. I was 2 hours in. I had a pretty good run. The first game, I played Shake and I did something that he just mistook as it was just me saying GG's because the game was sweaty. I'm not gonna lie. I was in the fourth quarter. I think he tied it after I was up 13 at one point. And I'm not gonna lie, I started getting frustrated. I'm like, yo, he's hanging in there. And when you get an open shot, when you've been trying to pull away after the game, just a 2-point, 3-point game, I got an open 3. So I just did a little quick flash pause. But like I said, it was just my way of saying GG's, just so I just want to apologize if I offended anybody with that.
Nobody ever takes it as GG's though.
Yeah, never. Literally never.
It was the worst. Shake's confirming a date to come on the podcast, and he's literally on his stream going, "There's no way I'm coming on the podcast after that." We've spoken since, so we're good. But
Come on, did he really say that?
he trashed the podcast for a minute, and then he's
honestly,
in the DMs now.
I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
I think you got off light, man. I would have pulled up to this kid's house. Josh, you would have helped me outside posted.
What?
This man's gonna take a 14-hour plane ride just to come mess with you, man. That's messed up. Off the pause flash.
Knowing the 2K community, I wouldn't be surprised, bro. Literally, I've heard of some wild shit.
Yeah, there's some stuff going on now. It's it's funny. I was literally ready for this yesterday because I was like, what I want to see is what we've had so many people say this is simulation basketball. This is such a realistic game. I'm like, I want to see what those people are saying when they get first rounded in 250k by someone paint mashing.
It's realistic in 1950s standards.
They weren't going up over the entire roster and getting a green shot every time. They weren't doing that. They're going over the head coach, the GM, the team owner, the water boy, and getting that is just
technically
ridiculous.
From the stats what was putting up. Hey man, he probably was. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
No, but one person, not everyone being able to do that.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Mitchell shouldn't be able. I play this dude. His entire game plan, mind you, he was down 20. I'm like, oh, he's gonna quit. His entire game plan was throw it to Jermaine O'Neal, post up, we either make it, hit the rebound, go back up. The entire time he's down 46 to no, it's 46 to like maybe 22 at one point. I'm like, oh, he's gonna quit. He literally comes back. I'm like, nah, I gotta put the starters back in. Then I end up winning by like, I think 7. I won to flash pause him, but I'm like, I learned my lesson from doing that. That would have been a toxic. That would have been toxic if I did that to him. But like he played so like he had no brain. Like I just don't think these guys should be qualifying, bro. I'm not even gonna lie.
I think he had too big of a brain.
Yeah,
it's bad. No, it's bad.
Did anyone else play in the quals or tried to play? CP, you had a go, didn't you?
Yeah, I played earlier. And like I said when we were talking before we started recording, I mean, contested shots going in, shots in the paint, red contests going in. A big thing about qualifiers today is that they were on like rookie difficulty. That makes no sense.
Well, were they actually? Is it like I didn't play a game? I should have probably. Was it actually a rookie?
I think it might have been like rookie or pro. I saw
It
guys
was
on
pro,
Twitter saying
right.
it was on, pro.
Sheesh.
That's
that's
what
crazy.
I saw anyway, which is wild because like regular online is just on online versus. So it's like it's crazy.
Why wouldn't you keep it as online versus?
Well, they've been doing this for like 3 years, and everybody like consistently says, "Hey, at least put it on All-Star." And they're just like, "Nah, we're good. Like y'all will be fine." And then people aren't fine, and that's when all like hell breaks loose. It's like, bro, they've been doing this for 3 years. It's crazy that they don't have it figured out yet. Like I just don't.
Well, one thing I did notice that was different is the timers. You only get, I think, 3 pause timers now. You get less timeouts, and I think they're trying to counter the stalling.
I saw it up into Fit. So 2K Fitness was up. He was 40th, I think. He was up in a game, and he didn't realize his pauses ran out, and the guy took the win. So that's how we exited that stuff. Most, did you play?
Yeah, I played. I got stalled the first 2, kind of like I was up by 30 both games, and then the third game I met a sweat, and the full court press just got to me early. But I made a quick push at the ends, and then some bad turnovers. It's hard to like stay that locked into certain games with certain people, and I tried my best. It was like my first time actually trying to compete. I put badges on players today. I put shoes. I was kind of into it, but I still went in with a free team. I couldn't get myself, like I'm stingy with my MT for some reason. I don't know what it is. I couldn't buy anybody. I was like, I'm gonna get in here. I'm gonna be a free player and just win this somehow, but it didn't work out.
You're gonna be in your head. You're gonna be no auction house forever, and it's always gonna feel wrong, I think, for you.
Yeah, man.
Cool. So the thing I want to talk about first is the matchmaking, because it's been crazy. You guys will probably know. Anyone who's been following 250 for a while will know that sort of towards the end of the second hour, in the third hour, you'll start seeing some high level matchups. Tanaka matched up with Beeza's first game. JD matched up with Danto within an hour. Fat Boz matched up with Amar within an hour and a half. It's Ty matched up with Newman hour into the quals. I mean, people are literally saying there's SPMM in 250. Now, I'm not going to say that that's the case, but why are we getting these crazy matchups in the first hour and a half?
Nobody's playing the game.
The casuals are gone.
Yeah. Nobody's playing the game.
I think the casuals are gone, so it's not really like my experience. I ran into a lot of casuals, which I was really surprised, because in 250 I always have a bad habit of like my second game. I think 21. I played Isaac the second game, and then I think 22. I know I played somebody within the community, but I've seen a lot of casuals. But from what I'm hearing, like it doesn't sound like skill-based matchmaking, because everybody I played had the logo. Like every single person I played had the MyTeam logo. So it's definitely a lot of casuals.
Same here.
Playing the game. Like everyone had a logo.
So the thing I noticed while watching, because I wasn't actually playing, I was just watching everybody's streams, is that I noticed that the people who waited a few minutes to jump on initially had way easier games than anybody who jumped on immediately. And that was kind of weird.
I didn't wait though. Like I jumped right in. I mean, I played Shake the first game, but after that I was like jump right in after, and it was just like the game seemed pretty easy. I don't know. Like I don't know if it's like, because I know somebody was complaining on the West servers. I forgot his gamer tag. He was saying like there's no one playing on the West, like the West servers. So like right now the best place to be is like East and the US.
Yeah,
get the most games.
Like they ran all of the casual players out of the game mode, which I've been talking about on Twitter for almost 3 weeks now, and people keep telling me I'm complaining, and I'm like, well, when you have events like this where you need a decent amount of people to be playing in order for you to avoid sweats, this is what you end up getting because you ran everybody else out of the mode. So yeah, hopefully by the next one, which I think is in November, we have more casual players because people buy the game for stuff like that. But yeah, it's going to be bad up until around about January because just like casual players don't want to deal with sweats, and the sweats don't leave until after 250K. So it's like a revolving door of, hey, I just got my team. I go into unlimited. Oh, I'll be back in. I'll be back once we get opals and dark matters, and it's just like that revolving door every year at this point.
I think gameplay is also an issue too because like you would think a game. I think being at shooting is as hard as it is this year. That's another thing that's driving casuals away. But like I honestly thought with how rim running and mashing is, like that would keep them around. But I like you said, I feel like people just really want to play with dark matters and opals, and when the cards is easier to use. Like no one ever really wants to go through the grind on like season 1, especially.
Because like a casual. Oh, I'm sorry. A casual doesn't want to sit there and post up and do rim running though.
That's the thing that's not spoken about enough. Like, yes, there is an easy way for most people to score, but is it fun?
Yeah, that's what
not at all. Not at all fun. I hate watching it.
Yeah, it's horrible because even like I know people say it has no skill, but there's a certain skill that even if you get good at doing that to where people just aren't going to play it. Like if you play a dude who genuinely knows how to backdoor cut and post up and spam and mash, there's nothing you can do about it. So even with the mashing and how easy that's supposed to be, you still have levels to that. That's why I'm like, I don't know what 2K can do, because if they fix the shoot, well not fix, but if they turn the whites up, then now you're just gonna have to deal with people hitting contested whites and people mashing. If they turn the mashing down, then you're gonna have to deal with, okay, we can't shoot and I can't get to the rim. So they have to find some type of balance in the middle there that they just have never. Like last year wasn't horrible. Like I said, if 2K had gameplay, I mean last year's gameplay for this year would just turn down the whites, the game would be fine. Like, it would be perfectly fine.
Yeah, like I think buffs, because like everybody complained about blocks last year. I complained about blocks only when it didn't benefit me. But realistically, I like that I got blocks. No, really, like you know how like there's a play was like, yo, you turned it over. The fact that you had a chance to get back and you perfectly timed it, I should get that block. I feel like if they buff interior defense, keep the game the way it is now, I think we might see some more people come back because paint offense is just unbearable.
Here's the thing, right? Like for me, I thought when the game dropped, I was kind of happy with it because I was like, listen, as cards get better, as badges get added to cards, the paint defense is going to increase. It's going to start to balance out. And my whole vibe was, I'll take a less fun game for the first 2 months for a more fun game for like 9 months. Yeah. The problem we've got now is we've got some of these cards. We've got 10.5, 7 foot plus defensive cards,
and they can't do anything,
and it still feels like RNG. I feel like I'm just as likely to get a stop with Steph Curry in the post than I am with Big Z. Like I don't really feel like I'm in control of what's happening in the post.
And the thing is, like, post moves are a big thing in this game, or they should be. You don't even have to drop step or post spin or post hook. All you have to do is get right by the basket, push your opponent out of bounds, and just lay it up. You don't have to do any moves.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Factor, right? Which like my card has a 90 strength. He's not just gonna let somebody push him. Like, he should be able to like push back. And it's, bro, I have Mikhail has post move lockdown. He has anchor. He has like all the badges you would need to get a stop. Jermaine O'Neal, not Shaquille O'Neal. Jermaine O'Neal is pushing me out of bounds every time, and I'm like, bro, this just doesn't make like.
It's crazy how easily you get pushed out of bounds. Yeah, it's crazy.
One of the few things I have noticed is since I've had to play on both gens, for some reason, current gen is a lot better when it comes to mashing than next gen. I don't know how that's like is supposed to work, but I guess because I have no idea. But if you play both gens, for some reason, current gen is a lot better. But when on the flip side of that, perimeter defense is a lot better on next gen. So it's like if they could find a way to just make it to where dudes wouldn't be physical like bowling balls and just ricochet off of dudes when they're running. That's essentially the idea. It's like, hey, I'm coming down the court. Here's R2. I'm going to run into a straight line. I'm not going to dribble. I'm not going to use any of I'm going to run into a straight line. You're going to bounce off of me eventually, and I'm going to hit a contested layup. And you just have to sit right there and just accept it. You're like, damn, it be like that sometimes. So,
and it's because the badge is like clamp breaker. Like, all right, it's a cool concept. That badge clearly is overpowered. Because I feel like if I got half clamps and you got half clamp breaker, they both should be neutralized, and it's a matter of who got the better defensive stats and offensive stats. Like, if I put Scottie Pippen in front of Derrick Rose, and he got 99 perimeter defense, and Derrick Rose got a 96 driving. I should get more stops on Derrick Rose than allowing baskets to be given up, bro. Like that. Like I just feel like certain things is just so simple, bro. Like I don't get it.
I usually value your opinion on this most, but like, what do you think they can do to like improve the game in this current state? Like, what do you think that they can do to fix this without detrimentally breaking the game for every other aspect?
I think it might be too late, but I'm with you on the whole.
Don't say that.
I'm with you on the whole.
No, you're supposed to be like my elder statesman that's gonna calm me down, dude.
No, I think I like current gen gameplay in certain things, and then next gen in certain things, and it's that whole balance between the two. I'm with you 100% Wild, but it's weird because I think if they try to change something now, it's gonna mess up the whole game in so many ways.
They're gonna break their game. It happened one year, I think it was 21, where if you played Next Gen 21 for the first 2 months, I swear to God, you guys, it was the best game of 2K I've ever played, bro. Then they sent in a patch right before Christmas came. And after that, that's when fading shots started hitting, like all of that weird stuff. But if you played current Gen 21 for the first 2 months, it was the best 2K I've ever played. It was the most balanced. I've had the theory, and I know I'm a little bit of conspiracy theory, bro. Just like I say in real life, I think there's real life NPCs. 2K breaks this game on purpose.
Why? Why would they do that?
Because listen. It's exactly. You get to a certain point where after they break the game, okay, here's this overpowered card that can stop all of that. Okay, I'm gonna go and rip packs for that card. Or the next year, you're like, oh yeah, you guys hated paint defense this year. We buffed it this year. But guess what? Shooting's back terrible. If you look at all of the cycles of 2K, 19 paint defense is terrible. 18 paint defense is terrible. 19 shooting was easy. 20 paint defense was terrible. 21 shooting was easy. Last year shooting was easy. This year paint defense is terrible. It's like a continuous cycle of, hey, we fixed that, but this is broken now. So it's like they just keep going this.
I wonder if they work on the builds, like previous builds when they're doing the new game. I wonder if that's what's going on, because it seems to be every other year.
The issue with that though is like we're getting those cards. Like Wilt should be that card. KG should be that card. We should be getting the cards that are like, and I know they are going for like $1 million MT, which is true. The problem is they still don't work.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I will give Wilt, that's the best rebounding card in the game, dog. That man will literally jump 18 feet in the air and snag a ball off the top of the backboard and bring it down and then dunk it. Like that card, for that, he's great. But yeah, defense, I have no idea what they're gonna do. Like I said, I'm a zone player this year, bro. If you can spray me up with threes, I'm gonna just allow it, bro. You have it. You got it. If you can hit threes on this game, I'm cool with that, bro. But you're not gonna slash.
I was watching Kevin Garnett, a card that consistently goes for $1 million, just get decimated by Theo Ratliff today, and that was insane.
That's so
like consistently.
It was
that should not happen.
There was several games today. I know Splash ran into someone who had like a few amethysts in his starting lineup.
No, Theo Ratliff or Splash is the guy I'm talking about, dude. He was just decimating KG. Like, what?
I know Ty had a
you know what's crazy?
Budget squad as well.
I think the game was close because I watched it. It was like 38, 39 or something. But he just was so mentally like over. He could have came back and won. He said he didn't even want to play no more. Ended the stream.
Yeah, he checked.
It's like, bro, you're doing bad when your previous winner is like, it doesn't even want to play the game, bro. Like that's so bad. That is so bad. That is not a good look at all.
That's another thing with this year. I've noticed even when you're winning, it's not fun. Like I've said this over, like when you're winning a game in 2K, it should be fun. But when you're winning this year, it's not fun because the dude is still trying to mash you, and it's like every single possession you don't. You don't have control over what can happen, bro. You're really at the mercy of whether or not you're going to get a decent enough contest or whether or not your player is going to get over there in time. So I'm going to ask this for y'all. Do y'all prefer the game this year or last year? Broken shooting or broken paint defense? What do y'all like better with that?
I guess last year, but like up until when we got Gary Payton in the Unlimited, I enjoyed playing the game. I loved like that whole grind to get him. I didn't like 12-0, but like that whole grind to get him, it was so worth it. After that, I really wasn't playing the game consistently last year, but I definitely enjoyed like up until that point. But after a while, it was just ridiculous. Like,
that was a
Luka was annoying.
10 out of 10 question. What's your answer to that, CP? Like, are we comparing it like this time of the year?
Yeah, we can do this time of the year. We can do that. I think that'd be better because we're not through the whole cycle yet. So I'm gonna give 2K the benefit of the doubt on that, bro. But even this time last year, the game was in a pretty good spot. Like outside of it was a little mashing last year. Like I remember Ruby Yao Ming being annoying and Ruby Rick Smith, but it's a different level this year. Like, it's crazy.
Definitely like, you could stop it. Like you had a chance. Like, you had another big body. You get because the blocks last year, you were able to like get a few blocks, get some stops, and it's like all right. But this year, it's like it makes nothing.
CP, what's your thoughts? Which game would you take?
Like y'all are saying, I mean, anybody can match this year. And all because of that, I think I got to take 21 around this time of year. I feel like 21, 20. I mean, you're talking about 22. I feel like I'd take 22 around this time of year. My fault. But I feel like as the year goes on, whenever we get to the second half of the year, all hell breaks loose. Of course, we haven't seen anything happen this year because, I mean, we're still in October. But I don't know, when you get those really good Galaxy Opals, Dark Matter cards, and we start seeing the badge counts go up, we start seeing some crazy shit happen in the game. So we'll see if, they fix paint defense. I doubt they're going to do that, even as, badge counts start to go up. Around this time of year, though, I think I'd take 22. A lot more balanced, even though there was mashing.
It's a super hard question to answer for me because I didn't get good at 22 until like March. Like March, I locked in and properly learned to dribble. And March to end game, I know content-wise people weren't high on it. It was the most high I've ever been on 2K because it's the best I've ever been at 2K. And those two things go hand in hand, right? Like if you're winning, you're rarely complaining. But I think going back to like the beginning of last year, I don't remember having any complaints or issues. I'm probably winning more now on 23, but I feel like I'm more frustrated playing the game.
If I remember exactly for 22, the only thing around about this time last year that was terrible was just shooting was a little difficult. It wasn't like as bad as it is this year. It was a little difficult, but that was mostly because we didn't have cards with really good shooting badges. You can mash a little bit, and then of course the blocks. Like that was my biggest thing last year for the beginning was that you could be at like the 3-point line and you can hit triangle and block somebody in the paint. But other than that, the game really wasn't that broken until we got what was the first broken? Jordan?
No, I think
Jordan changed the game last year.
It was Jordan and then Luka like top.
We got them like back to back.
Yeah, if those two cards weren't in the game, it might have been a very different experience, especially in the power group, because Luka broke everything.
Yeah, like DBG's made videos. Yeah, this is the best card. I thought he was trolling until I went to next gen, and I was like, oh, you truly cannot contest this
Luka
card,
was the equivalent of paint mashing this year, right? You just stand anywhere on the court, tap, shoot, and
but even then, like to a certain extent, you could guard Luka. Yeah, you could.
You put D-Rob. People were doing that. They would put D-Rob or like a big guard or wing.
I got to that point where I was really excited when I saw Luka line up because I would just send doubles and know that they didn't have a plan B. So it was easier to start. Most, what's your thoughts? Which game are you taking at this stage?
Content-wise, I don't think anything compares to this year content-wise because this is probably the most I've ever played a game to start. Maybe it's because of this whole trophy case thing, the centerpieces, we're going after all this. But I feel like I play this game nonstop and I'm never like for season 1, I feel like I don't even know how to keep up with everything. Like I finished every game mode and I'm still not done with Dom. Like I'm still finding something to continue doing. So I feel like the content this year is there for anyone that actually wants to do that. So that I don't think anything competes to this year's content. But gameplay, honestly, last year early in the year I was never losing. And this year I am losing really like bad. I'm losing in triple threat online. I'm losing in unlimited. Like I'm losing more games. But it's hard for me to say because just the content aspect is making me play the game more. And it's making me fall in love with it. Like I'm loading up every day. I'm finding something to do. And it's making me love 2K. Like I feel like a kid. Like I feel like quarantine all started all over again. Like I'm just locked in and all that. So I think overall, I know I said it, I don't think this year is going to get fixed gameplay-wise, but no, I think we'll fall into it. We're going to get adjusted to it. It's not as bad as like some years. Like 2K18, I felt like year's gameplay, there was no way they were going to fix that. Like there was no way I was playing that game.
That's what.
But this year, I feel like
Roblox is so OP, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Like that year, I quit playing video games. But this year, I feel like it's gonna be fixed with the cards and stuff. Like in a sense, like we're gonna get either used to it in a sense, or they're gonna make maybe minor adjustments to fix it for us.
Yeah, I'm gonna give. I think I know where this is all going. By the way, like I feel fairly confident. I've got a question for you, Mos. You said you badged up your players for today. Did you?
Yeah.
Did you notice the difference?
Yeah, I did. I did notice a difference for sure in certain aspects. I didn't go crazy. I didn't put Hall of Fames or anything, but no, I was seeing them doing things a little bit better. I know most people will say otherwise, but no, there is a difference with badges when you notice. Like
It depends on the ones.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
what
agree with
badges?
most because like I had sold Tatum. My Tatum I had before was Soup, half rebounder, half quick first step, half blinders. I think he had fast twitch and then something else. I think comeback kid. But the one I bought back, I think he only has fast twitch. What's that other one? It's just not the same badges. I know it's not the same badges as before. And like I'm shooting in games with like before the other team, I would shoot anything like contested, don't matter, like winning it. This one I could kind of get away with it, but not as much as before. So I feel like the half badges make a difference, but the gold badges is like it's a little bit. And I will say Anchor is one of my favorite badges. I gave it to Jeremy Lin, and surprisingly enough, dudes would try to post him up with Scotty. He was getting some pretty good stops. So that's one badge I definitely noticed a difference with.
That's insane.
Anchor.
I don't think we know what the OP badges are yet this year. You know, there's always like 3 or 4 that are like must have.
Well, Masher for one. Masher
for sure.
Masher for one. I'm just
Yeah, that's probably
other
Glove
than
is
that,
definitely
yeah.
up there. Glove is definitely up there.
Yeah, Glove's a big one.
The thing I'm interested to see is we don't have cards with range right now. I don't know if y'all have noticed. You can shoot pretty deep, like with base cards this year.
Yeah.
So we don't have cards with range. This might be a year where dudes are standing at half court and pulling up like it's nothing with random cards.
No, they are for sure.
Yeah.
There's a couple people I ran into with Derrick Rose, and I guarantee they had Hoff Limitless, and they were stroking from half court and TT.
That is
like
insane.
no problem.
I've got gold limitless on D Rose, and I
Me
dropped
too.
I dropped 30 in a clutch time online game.
Yeah,
I think I hit
so-
5 fours.
Tatum
So-
doesn't even have range, and he shoots like I shoot from far with him. Like he doesn't even have range. So I know like if cards like that get range,
I'm
That's
pretty
the one.
certain that there's no difference between bronze limitless and gold this year. Like I really don't think so,
No
because
difference.
Cade has
Well-
bronze limitless, and I've been watching dudes pull up from half court with him consistently and green it like 75% of the time.
Yeah.
And
Like,
if you
dudes
get
were-
takeover, that sharpshooting takeover badge, especially on Curry, like when he
Oh,
he
yeah,
brings
yeah.
it, he does the
Yeah,
Yeah.
son, I get so mad. Like I
Bro.
jump and I see that, I'm like,
I
Somebody-
literally keep Ami Curry in my team just for when we get takeover, because he's gonna drop 20 by the time it's done.
Somebody
Okay,
game
okay,
me with
calm,
that card.
Jazz. All right.
He's won me more games. That Ami Curry has won me more games than any other card I've used this year. He's like the most slept on budget card in the game. It's not even close. I don't know what your parameters are for a budget card this year, but for me, it's like
Under
20K.
20K.
Yeah, he might be just over that. He might not make the cut. He might not make the Ludes budget score.
Nah,
but-
my budget card, I consider a budget card under 10,000 minimum for sure, which we have barely any of those at this
Oh,
point.
bro, MT is like what's like? It's just the economy's not the same, dude.
it's
not
easy
the
to make
same.
MT, bro. It's so
It's-
easy to make MT.
Okay, are
Is
we going to
that-
start one of these bring back contracts chants here? Because I don't
No,
want to
No,
go
I'm
down-
saying
no.
MT is worth 4 times as much as it was last year. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. I'm 1.5 million is about the same as like 400K in
Yeah.
2K20.
Well, the thing I made a market video last night. And the thing I noticed was the cards that have really good value versions aren't that expensive. So if you go and look at Pink Diamond Kawhi, Diamond Kawhi, and Amethyst Kawhi, the Pink Diamonds, he's still expensive. He's 300, 350K, but he's not 600, 700K. And the reason being is he has a really good budget version. So I think 2K cutting out those budget cards, like DBG said, yeah, they kind of messed up the economy a little bit because people are now going, I have to get these higher tier cards. And also the pack odds are bad. Like they're really, really bad this year. So it's harder to pull those cards to begin with. So if you get an Amethyst, that Amethyst is pretty much going to be semi-rare. So they're going to be so expensive. Like,
Do you think Kawhi would be 300K if Scotty didn't exist?
Oh yeah, he'll be way more expensive.
Yeah.
than Scotty
Nah,
than
Kawhi is really he's shit this year. I'm sorry, he is not good.
the diamond,
I
the
look at
diamond
his
is nice
stats.
for me.
He's a
Why
lot,
does-
bro. He does his job.
Why does Jason Tatum's Pink Diamond have a higher interior defense than him?
It's
Why-
2K.
No, but Tatum's not the better defender.
It's 2K though. I mean, like, we ain't talking about real basketball.
I was
but
comparing them.
At this point,
I'm like, I get Kawhi, and I'm like, what? Because what I worry about is getting matched. Like, I like to switch screens sometimes. Let's say, all right, if I get put in the post, I know I could leave you down there to give me a stop, get a contest.
Okay.
But like, I don't know. Maybe because Tatum taller and he's a better rebounder for sure. That I know their rebounders.
I mean, in real life, Tatum is he's a pretty good post defender. He's a lot better post defender than Kawhi in real life.
I don't know.
Have you
at this point after the injuries? Probably.
Yeah, at this point, definitely. But Tatum's one of the more underrated defenders in the league.
But they use Spurs Kawhi. That's what's bugging me. It's not
even then,
Kawhi.
Spurs Kawhi really wasn't a post defender. He was a more perimeter and mid-range type of guy where you would put him on the perimeter guy. He wasn't like post Kawhi wasn't going out there and locking up dudes in the post like that. You had Tim Duncan, you had Tiago Splitter, who I don't know why I still remember that man's name. Even Boris Diaw.
Because of that block LeBron got on him. That was nasty.
Dude, don't be disrespecting Tiago Splitter in this. All right, come on, leave him alone.
The Spurs are notorious for getting like random NBA players that nobody's going to ever just remember for no reason. Like, Lonnie Walker,
mad bounce.
DeJuan Blair. That's the
one. Dude. Like, who are these dudes? What's the
that
dude
man had no knees? He had no knees and was out here hooping, dude. No knee cartilage. 0.
Who?
DeJuan Blair. My man had like 6 injuries on his knees before he could hit the NBA.
He was like a 6'6" center.
Hell yeah. Yeah, he was the best, dude. That was my boy, man. He played for Pittsburgh, dude.
Boris Diaw was a dog.
Bro, I love Boris Diaw in real life.
21.
Yeah,
I loved his amethyst card. Oh, he could do everything.
I'm talking in real life. Like Boris Diaw was one of my. I always, for whatever reason, just gravitate to like random NBA players in the league that I just like for some reason. He was one of them because he just he gave me weird energy, bro. I was like, this dude, he French.
I like Leandro Barbosa at one point.
Barbosa is crazy. That's a name I ain't heard in forever, bro.
Nah, I don't know why.
I just like him because he's French, dude.
Hey, This is for CheapLudez, bro. How about Josh Childress? How about my boy?
Josh Childress was oh my God. I'm not kidding, like 10 or 15 Josh Childress rookie cards because I thought he was about to take over the league in 04. Yeah, him and Royal Ivy. Yeah.
So how did that turn out? Did he take over the league?
He was out of the league in 2 years, I believe. The Hawks drafted him and Royal Ivy that year. Both of them did not last 3 years.
You might get a bump on that just on rarity. There's only got to be 2 years worth of cards, isn't there?
Nah, dude, they were printing so heavy back in 04.
You should ask 2K to give him a card like a good Ruby or something.
I have been asking for Josh Childress for like 10 years, dude. I'm not kidding.
Nothing now. They gave you Ostertag and you weren't grateful. They're giving you nothing else.
They gave me a 73 overall gold Ostertag. The audacity, that's a slap in the face. I would have preferred they gave me nothing at this point.
Oh, dude.
Always ungrateful.
First you said Ostertag and now you want the opal, you want the dark matter?
I would love a glitched Greg Ostertag with like a 94 3-pointer. Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Honestly, I think if we try hard enough, we can get loose at least a pink diamond Ostertag, bro. Because the community is known for getting weird cards, like players. If we try hard enough, Lutz could possibly get one. Just because 2K is going to run out of content near what do y'all think? June this year?
Yeah, June.
Around about June. They're going to run out around about June.
I need a level 40 RJ Barrett then. Let's make it happen, 2K. A level 40 RJ Barrett.
That is so much more likely.
We didn't get an RJ last year. It's crazy.
Dude, we didn't get a dark matter. Bro, don't even. Man.
We locked in, bro. I'm glad you know about RJ because Pink Diamond RJ last year was a demon. Me and you locked in, bro. We know.
His Galaxy Opal was nice too.
Yeah,
I wasn't about to play those games for him. I'm not even gonna lie. Like that was.
I know they locked him in.
That was a big run.
So wow.
But
crazy. RJ Barry, I'm glad a lot of people realize that card is going to be tough in 2K. The only thing with me is I hate left-handed players. I hate left-handed people in general just because they're different. Like I'm one of those.
Left-handed people catching strays. Wait, my sister's left-handed.
Like, why are you a ginger? Like, that's my type of thing. Like, why are you?
My wife is actually left-handed.
My bad, y'all.
She's gonna watch this. Yeah, that's tough. I've got a bit of a transition back to 250 for a second.
That sounds like something I would say. That's messed up, man.
I mean, I don't like left-handed people. I don't like gingers. I don't like a lot of different people. Like, why are you red-headed, bro? Why do you
I'm not even going to activate the monetization on this video. This is a waste of time. I'm sorry, bro.
Yo,
I want to bring something back to 250 for a second. Right, so
it's not my fault this time. That's all that matters.
They said opals will be available, right, by 250. So 2K liked a tweet last week from Henry that literally said opals will be available. They liked it. I got a question. Do you think, like, in terms of the people that were like genuinely looking to qualify, they would have gone about things very differently had they known that Opal wasn't available, right? Because everyone tried to lock in a division to get Opal. Turns out that was pointless. So you actually just could have got the 4 best pink diamonds for your squad. What's everyone's thoughts on that? Do you think squads would have looked very different and results would have changed?
Yeah, I have a group chat that I'm in with some dudes who qualified last year, my friend Clamps and Dill. And Clamps was actually on the verge of locking in for Jimmy Butler. He thought he was gonna get some agendas to lock in the last set. I think he's on his 5th one. And then he was like, damn, I don't know what to do in my lineup now. Like I was expecting to have Jimmy Butler. So he's kind of like scrambling last minute to like put together a squad a certain way. So I think that definitely did mess up some people. You think they did it on purpose? You think they purposely
I don't know what to make of it, to be honest. It's the fact that they liked the tweet just made it weird. I
think 9 times out of 10 it was like some intern working for 2K who liked it, and then they kind of went back and looked at the power scaling of the game, was like, oh yeah, we can't release opals until the week after that, and so they just did not say anything about it. So
yeah, because they said it'll be available by the end of the season. So technically it's not the end of the season, right? So they've been honest at that level. Mm-hmm. But then to like the tweet that said they'll be available in the next couple of days, I think made people strategically change what they were doing, right? At that point, and go, right, I only need 1 piece. I'll lock in for this card instead of Sabonis, who's in a different division, who probably would have done better for me. What's your thoughts on that, Mos?
No, that's 1,000% true, man. I would have. There's a couple guys I would have definitely went after instead, and I was waiting for my Jimmy Butler. That's the only position I really was lacking, shooting guard. Like I have Iggy. Anthony Edwards helped me a little bit, but I definitely wanted Jimmy Butler. It would have definitely changed my whole dynamic for my team. And it threw me off. It threw me off. I was 100% locked in this morning. I was ready. I was locked in yesterday. I was ready. And knowing that I wasn't going to get them did throw me off a little bit. And I think I would have taken Mikhail somewhere. I would have definitely picked up another couple pieces from different divisions.
Yeah, because we got a couple of like grinders like on the podcast this week. You and CP both seem to seemingly get everything.
Oh yeah, both of them are crazy.
Yeah,
both of them are crazy, dog. I be looking at their videos. I'm like, these dudes are insane, dog.
I don't know how y'all do that. Like, I just literally did 2 centerpieces for TTO this week. I don't even know how I got it done because I don't even grind this game. I'm not the type to grind. Yesterday, I think I started at 35 wins, finished with 100. I literally got I was up for 21, 22 hours just playing the game. Like my eyes was just blurry after, just to get Mikhail for him to not get no stops in the paint.
The funniest thing about CP is he'll be in the middle of a 15-hour grind, and I'll tune into his stream and he'll be like, yeah, I'm getting a little tired, you guys. And then he'll push the earphone in and just go back to playing. I'm like,
I'm conditioned for the long grinds now, man. I think it all started during COVID. That big Kobe grind in 2K20. Yeah. Ever since then, ever since I just sat down, talked to the chat and just played for hours and hours, I've just been conditioned to, finish a domination in one sitting, finish 300 triple threat games in one sitting. I don't know. I've just been conditioned ever since.
Yeah, I watch your series. And you know how you watch someone's series? Like both of these guys, you go day to day and, see no money spent series and something like that. And, you'll watch one episode and the next day they might have added Theo Ratcliffe or something to their team. These guys have added 3 takeover cards, 2 domination cards, 2 trophy pieces. That's one episode. I'm like, how are you making a 45-minute episode of what you did in a day?
It's a skill, dog. I don't know how they do it. It's an insane skill, dog. Because I'll be sitting there, I'm like, oh yeah, I told them everything I have to do. And then he's just trying to end video, bro. And I click on CP. He's like, yeah, I'm finna get this. I'm like, nah, you have to do nothing but respect it.
It's demoralizing, bro. I'll literally sit there for 3 days grinding out a centerpiece. I'll be like, yeah, right, I feel really good. I got a card. You load up Moses' streams, he got 3 takeover cards in that time. He's just built an entirely new squad.
Bro, that's how it was last year for the clutch time rewards and the triple threat rewards. I'm like, good. I'm halfway to a clutch time reward. I click on CP stream. Yeah, we just got the new clutch time reward in less than a day, and I'm like, dog, how do you do this? Like, how do you do this? If I stream for more than 3 hours, my head starts to like explode, man. I'll be
more than an hour, man. More than an hour for me. I get so like I can't multitask. Well, I can, but like I get so distracted easily. Like if I'm playing offline is just so boring to me. It's just like I don't know how y'all could do that, man. Y'all are tough.
I prefer offline grinds to online grinds at this point. And this is the first time I've actually said this. Like last year, I was really on the we need more online grinds. This year, just because of how mashing is, if you give me 35 triple threat offline games and 35 triple threat online games, I'm going straight to offline to get that done, bro. Because I'm not playing with the sweats online at this point, bro. Unless I'm recording the video, then it's a different thing. But just for fun, I've actually come to enjoy playing offline, which I used to just hate for some reason. But
I just don't like how TTO offline to get the centerpiece. Why the hell would I want to play 250 games offline?
That by far the worst centerpiece.
That is so ridiculous, bro. And then it's like it gets progressively hard. And I kid you not, I look, the last game goes from being all-star, the last game is pro. I'm like, just keep the whole thing on pro, bro. Like no one wants to sweat.
I said. That's
no
what
one
I
wants
said.
to
Look,
sweat against
50 games.
Or
The first 50 games are on pro or below. Then 150 of them are on all-star. And then the last 49 are on Superstar, I think. And then there is no reason I should be playing 150 games on All-Star with this cracked out CPU. There's no way. Like,
it shouldn't even be 100. It shouldn't be 250 games.
It can be 250 games. It should just be on pro. Like, just leave it on pro, dude. The Sweat Lords are going to get it just as fast. Like, let's be real.
You've got your new categories, haven't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I have new categories. Oh, yes. We have new categories now because everyone just says comp, casual. No, there needs to be more in the middle. There's like comp, Sweat Lord, 2K enthusiast, casual. I am a 2K enthusiast. I play the game a lot, but I suck so bad.
Even below casual, you gotta have family guy. I mean, like family dude, the dude who loads up for 2 hours a day just to get away from like his life because he has kids and stuff. Just for little Timmy to get on there. Hey, you suck! Quit the game, bro. like dudes are so mean in the 2K community. Like this man has kids. He has a family. He just wants to play the game. Then you got a 12-year-old telling you how trash you are and how you're not tied to Evo, and then how you should hate your life.
You don't even know who that is.
Limited, bro. Oh my! I thought like unlimited is nowhere near sweaty and toxic as limited. Limited is the worst game mode to play if you want to play casually.
Yeah,
and like as surprising as that is, it's so bad.
The thing is, that's in my opinion, limited has been the best mode in the game for 2 years. What they messed up this year, we don't have budget cards, so there's not like casual players playing. The people who can afford to get the amethyst cards that are required for it are now playing that mode.
No, so, I'm getting mashed by sapphires and emeralds. I'm getting like dudes are just putting their head down and running. Like I go out there, I literally made the best defensive lineup you can, and I can't get no stops. Like the moment I see Ruby Ja as their point guard, I know what kind of game this is. I sit in the zone first, that don't work. Like, bro, it's like, and it don't even be. So it be 2K enthusiasts sweating the game like that.
The reason limited's become one of the more sweaty modes is unlimited. Obviously, was the most sweaty. Now you get rewarded for that, even if you lose. You've got people AFKing. Like, there's so much stuff going on in unlimited that's taken a lot of the competitive nature away from it. So limited is the only outside of clutch time online 5v5 mode where you actually have to win the game.
Yeah.
So it becomes more competitive naturally, I think.
I have this question for y'all. They fixed unlimited. I've said this on Twitter a lot of times. The one thing I will give credit for to 2K this year, they have fixed unlimited. Is it a little sweaty? Yeah, but they've fixed it. That's the best game. That's the best mode in the game. The problem is they can't just migrate everywhere else to the other modes. So I've always had this theory that in order to make every mode less sweaty, they have to reward people for losing. And I don't mean that in like a negative way or like give you rewards for losing the game, but they have to make it to where even if you lose that game mode, just like they did unlimited with the points, even if you lose, you still aren't completely like bottom out and just lost the game. So how do y'all think they can go about fixing the sweatiness of all the other modes?
Let me touch on unlimited first, because I don't think there's anything 2K can do this year that would put me off because I haven't forgotten how much of a W unlimited is.
Yeah.
Like that's just ingrained in my mind now. So whatever happens, like
They could
whatever
bring
they
back
do,
12-0.
like the fact that we're for the first time in 3 years, like I said, people are running unlimited confidently. All right, people are using exploits or whatever. I don't really care about that. Do what you want to do. But there's people who have genuinely built a squad that are going into unlimited and having fun and not really worried about the consequences. It's the only game mode where you actually use your full squad, which to me needs to be the purpose of this game. Like we need to get back to that. The more we get back to that, the better. Card collecting is great, but let's build a squad and have some fun. Let's bring that 2K25 back. So even if it had a knock-on effect on every other game mode, I would rather that be the case than unlimited be the mode that's affected. Like, keep unlimited the way it is, incentivize people to build a squad. It brings purpose back to the game. And if that makes limited and CTO a bit more sweaty, then I'm totally fine with that.
I don't know. My only problem with TTO being sweaty is just like how hard. It might just be the gameplay thing because it's like sometimes it feels like defense is just so much worse on TTO. Probably because there's less players on the court. It's like everybody has a lot more room to just kind of run around you. Like I struggle defensively on TTO. Like this, I feel like there's nothing I could do.
TTO isn't a mode, in my opinion, that's built for bad shooting or hard shooting, just because part of the reason what makes TTO is fun is that you're getting up and down the court trying to score points. So when you have to slow the game down in TTO, it kind of just takes away the point of that mode, if that makes sense. Like in my opinion, I feel like TTO has always been supposed to be in my the fastest pace mode where people are running up and down the court. That's the mode where you can have dudes sprinting, holding R2, and because of the fact that like shooting is so tough, you really don't see those like fast games anymore. So it just made everything slow down and come to a grind a lot.
Do you think shooting is hard? Personally?
No.
You don't think it's hard?
The thing I've actually said, the fact that it is more difficult to time shots has made it to where people have forgotten the contest system in this year really is not that good because you can consistently green 75 to 80% contested shots this year. So if you know your player's jumper, you're good to go. Like J.R. Smith and Carmelo are the two most broken cards in my opinion because those dudes will literally knock down non-stop contested shots in your face if you do not know how to play perimeter defense. But because mashing is so easy, majority of players aren't going to take the time to go, well, J.R. Smith knows how to shoot. I'm going to time his jumper. They're just going to run to the paint.
Yeah.
You know, what's funny is that most people I play against who have JR or Carmelo, they're just terrible with those cards. It's like they don't know how to time the releases because they're so quick. And because of that, they just assume the cards are so bad. I've seen so many people call Melo and JR trash, but their releases are so quick that if you can time them perfectly, even if there's defense there, even if you're contested, you can knock it down consistently.
Scotty too. Scotty has a fast release. Like I was on Jazz's account playing TTO, and I shot the first shot with him, and I just knew like off rip, like after 2 shots, how to like shoot with Scotty. And like you know how when like the defender closes in on you, your shot gets faster. I love shooting when the defender's like this close to Scotty because like I know exactly how fast I gotta release it, and he gets it up so fast. Like that's one of my favorite cards.
I remember doing the challenges and Darius Garland's jumper seems like
it's a joke.
When he gets an upgrade, jeez.
It's a joke.
DG was tough last year though. Like people don't remember that DG was tough last year. So this year he's gonna be the new Diamond Trae Young for me. Because if y'all remember last year, you know I'm a little bit of a Hawks fan, so you know I always go pick Trae Young.
Oh, you're a Hawks fan. We can't be on the same podcast.
I'm a little bit of a Hawks fan.
I'm a Knicks fan. We just can't be on the same podcast.
Oh, y'all are trash. We ain't even the same category.
We'll see you this year.
Y'all down there.
We'll see you this year.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we'll see you this year.
Y'all are down there with the Bulls in terms of how trash y'all are going to be.
Whoa! Don't be like sending strays at the Bulls. We're garbage.
Ain't Lonzo out for like another month? I mean, 2 months.
I think he's out for the rest of his life. To be honest.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's bad.
That's a nice seed.
Nah, what coming for y'all, man? Don't think because you got DeJounte Murray that changes anything.
Bro, y'all biggest acquisition was Jalen Brunson. Come on now. Y'all gave Jalen Brunson $24 million a year. Think about that.
Hey, don't forget Isaiah Hartenstein.
Yeah, for real.
Listen, laugh now. We gonna see you.
We've been laughing at y'all for 20 years.
In the playoffs, he get cold feet, bro. Like,
didn't he cook y'all for 35 and 30?
You guys are arguing over the
didn't
6th
you
seed.
get dogged from the Heat? What happened to Trey on that night? Bro, what happened?
My boy was getting triple teamed,
Casper.
bro. Oh, that's
Casper.
right. Knicks don't have to worry about getting triple teamed in the playoffs. Y'all don't make the playoffs.
No,
That's crazy.
not this year.
That's
we
a tough
got
situation.
Def. We got Def this year. You know what?
Yeah.
I thought he was good, Jazz. He's a Hawks fan. You should have told me that.
I thought Jalen
I
Brunson.
just love
Bro,
the
y'all
fact you
gave
finally
Jalen
met your
Brunson
match.
Jalen Brunson making $24 million a year, dog. And
Bro, he
then-
just dropped 30 something, bro. I don't, you know what I'm saying? He's
in the
he just don't
preseason, we don't
back down
count
at all.
this.
so what?
We don't count this.
All right, let's bring it back in. We'll settle this debate later. We'll set it at the end of the season, I guess. The other big thing that I wanted to discuss, and we've already touched on a lot of this already, is this is the last podcast we're doing in season 1, right? So next week we'll be into season 2, and there's basically like 7 or 8 subjects that I would want to discuss with you guys. What you think about them? Do we need to see changes in any of these things for next season? And do you think there will be changes in any of these things? The first thing, I don't know if you guys saw my tweet about takeover cards, where I asked people to let me know how many they've got and how many opportunities they've had. So the actual odds are close to 1 in 1,000 opportunities. So I added it all up. That's what it came out as. It was like 890 something. Just to put that in perspective, you are 20 times more likely to pull a pink diamond out of a single than to get an RNG takeover card. And I tried to find like an obscure fact just to make how crazy this is. So you're just as likely to be born in 2009 and be called Maddox than to get a takeover RNG card.
And be called what?
Maddox
He said
is a
Maddox.
crazy name.
That's the same one. So
Yeah.
I mean, it is. I'm just gonna say it. I really miss getting an RNG card. I really miss that feeling of it popping up and it's being there and like just being that random high five as you were going along, doing whatever else you were doing.
Remember you called yourself the RNG God last year?
Oh, I'm the RNG dog now. I'm down horrendous. I'm down horrendous.
I definitely revoked you of that title for sure.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I mean, there was genuinely people that responded like with the complete breakdowns that were over like 1,400. Obviously, like I really want Mos and CP to talk about this because you guys I know are grinding takeover cards. CP, I saw the video where you got Iggy from the draft and stuff as well. So this is obviously something you guys are focused on. How do you guys feel this is going? As people who are doing it, how do you feel this is going? And how do you think this relates to the kind of state of the player base right now? What impact do you think this is having? Both the RNG going and the grinds.
Man, well, when we talk about the player base, when you load it into 2K, it's cool at first that there's a guaranteed way to get these RNG cards. But then you look and you got to play 135 games, win 135 games for these cards. So, like, I think 2K, they got to tone that down a little bit because not everybody has time for that. And earlier, Wildmont was talking about how, there's no casuals playing the game right now. And you need casual players in the game who can go and get these cards, even if they can just play for 2 hours, 3 hours a day at most. So I think we might see 2K scale down the games that you need to play. And with that, we might see them increase the odds at getting these cards from, the vault, from the ball drops. I don't know if it's going to happen, though. I wouldn't be surprised if 2K makes it the exact same for every single season, 135 games. And of course, the cards are going to get better. They're going to start being pink diamonds, opals, dark matters, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think, Mos?
I think they're going to actually change it a little bit. I don't because the way they were doing the Tuesday things, they started getting easier and easier, right? Like at the first, the Elgin Baylor was so hard. And then they started making it obviously they started Donovan was a little too easy. Then Elgin was like, oh man, what is this? And then they started getting a little bit
Elgin
better.
was crazy.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they worked on those. I think Friday they just had the mindset that we're gonna keep it at this many wins. We're just gonna keep it like this, see how it goes for the season. But I could see them tweaking it a little bit. Maybe they'll keep them probably wins, but maybe they'll cut them in half. I hope they can just change them all to be somewhat like the Tuesday grind, where they're all just do this or do that. Otherwise, we're playing games over and over again. It's mad annoying playing 35 clutch time online games every week. I don't want to do that. That's probably my least favorite mode in the game, even though I loved it last year. But right now, it's Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's the thing. Like whatever mode is your least favorite mode, you have to play every week, right?
Yeah, no, that's just true. And like I hate triple threat offline, but I did it for the centerpiece, and now I'm doing it again for another like player and all this. And it's like, why am I replaying modes when I completed it? But I think they should make it more player based, like do assists with this player or something, like keep them with the teams. That way, at least it's more fun, and I could do it in whatever mode I like. I think that would be great.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think they've been learning and they've been adjusting to what we want and what we like. And that's something that I really like about 2K, especially this year, that they have been listening to us. So we'll see how it goes in season 2.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. Like the only thing that makes sense, and I keep saying this again and again and again, and I do agree with myself. I think they will change it. I think they'll change it like next season. I think next Friday. The only thing that makes sense is to put it in line with the centerpieces. It's the only thing that makes sense. If you know, instead of whatever 35 games, make it 17 TTO games. So you get 17 each week, and then you get the centerpiece at the end of it. For Unlimited, it's about 5 games. You win 5 games a week, you'll likely have the centerpiece by the end of the season. Just put it in line with that, because I think 2K is shooting themselves in the foot. And I do think they're smart enough to know this, but I think they're shooting themselves in the foot. We can talk about the difficulty of the game, the difficulty of the grinds and all of this stuff that people are just kind of looking at it and going, I'm not going to touch it. But actually, there's nothing that drives people away from this game quicker than overplaying the game. It's not in 2K's interests to have people burning out on this game. Because I tell you what, it happened to me at the start of 2K21. I came out the gates way too hard, played a couple of months, and I did not touch this game for 5 months. I stopped making content. I was so burnt out, I didn't even want to turn the game on. Yeah. So I don't think it's in their interest at all to keep up this insane grind. Because, like, you know, Mos has got every takeover card, but I know it's not sustainable to do that for the entire year. Even if this is all you do, if this is what you do for a living, you stream all this stuff, you've got the time to do it. There's a tipping point of either time or fun that's just inevitably going to kick in, and you'll just stop.
Well, I've always said the best grind 2K ever had was the spotlights, because they were time consuming, but they weren't to the point where you felt over, like there was too much. Like they're about what 15 to 20 hours for one to get the spotlights done. That's a good little midpoint. And then for every single time you finish the division, you also got a card, so it boosted you to get the next one. Okay, I got this guy, I'm gonna go get him. I got this guy, I'm gonna go get him. With the takeover cards, it just doesn't seem like I'm not going to say in game because there's really no lock-in for it, but it just feels like they're just flowing along to where people are like, oh, well, we got another one of those. We got another one of those. We got another one of those. And people really aren't excited to go and get that new card, even if it's a new one just loading up. Like Anthony Edwards just stated, it's the best one we've gotten up there with Iggy. And this just doesn't seem like people were just excited to go and get him outside.
With it. Yeah. I decided first week, this is not something I'm going to do. Like,
I haven't.
It's just not something I'm going to do, be able to do. I will never, ever, as this year goes on, complete one of those Friday grinds. It just won't happen. I don't have the time. I'm one of those people that don't have the time. But I'm also okay with that, because here's the flip side of it, right? Like my end of season team, I'm perfectly happy with.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like I missed out on anyone. I got D-Mitch because that was an easier grind. And actually, I got him organically because I was completing Unlimited that week. And I got like the 134 steals just playing organically. It was like 2 hours at the end. So I was like, yeah, I can grind that out. I got Kemp from Limited, which is also, you know, a great spin on this, is that you can get a selection from the Limited set. And then I've got like D Rose, I've got Scotty, Larry Johnson. Like my squad isn't underpowered because I haven't, you know, done these.
Your squad is overpowered.
It probably is, yeah.
Well, I was talking to Lutz about this last night in the DMs about how draft. If you guys like, I was one of the biggest dudes, like content creators, boosting draft last year. It was my favorite mode last year. I was like, draft is amazing. And then even for the first 2 weeks this year, draft was really,
you need to be careful
good.
how you use the word boosted on this podcast, Joe.
Oh,
cancel.
My bad. But I was one of those guys that was like, draft is amazing. So, but this year, it's insanely hard to get to the top board of draft, bro. Like, if you've played a draft run, you can get all of the 10 wins, and you aren't even guaranteed to have more than 5 picks on the top board if you get to the top board with those picks. So, I just feel like everything just needs to be scaled back just a little bit. Just need to be made a little easier for people who pick up the game and going, okay, I want to hop right in. Like, the takeover cards, and I tweeted this out, were supposed to be something you can do every single week, get that card every single week and enjoy it. most people don't have 20 hours a week of 2K in them to get one card that they're probably going to use for 2 weeks at the most. So there has to be some type of balance there where he goes, okay, this card is really, really good, but he's also not time consuming. So
yeah, I think they flipped the whole concept on its head, right? Because the idea was the grind was supposed to be in case you didn't get the RNG card, right?
Yeah.
That was the concept. But actually, the way it's become now is it's 3-tiered. You either grind for the card, the next best odds are draft, right? So you complete that, and then you've got a slightly better chance, 20%, whatever, if you complete it. And then if lightning strikes, you get the RNG card. Like that's where we are right now. So I think they just need to switch that back around. Like I think most you've done all of them, yes?
Yeah, I did every single one of them. Yeah.
How many RNG cards did you get along the way?
Just Lamar Odom. So I actually needed two more. I needed 2 more unlimited games for Lamar, and I would have done it anyway. But I got it through the draft. Crazy. Which draft is the easiest, but I didn't get it in any other mode. I didn't get it in Clutch Time Online that I played 150 plus games, the 250 plus triple threat, the 150 plus this and that. Nah, it's really bad. And I didn't even talk about this at all, but no, they need to adjust that. Because the wheel spin, you know for a fact you're spinning the wheel, it's going to land on 1 token, 100 MTE, 2 token. You know that for a fact. There's no point. The same thing with the Volt. I don't even look. I just click X, like whatever. It doesn't matter. Nothing's going to change. And they need to definitely change that. Because last year and the year before, we hated RNG before, but it was still better than this year by far.
Yeah. I missed last year's wheel because last year I would get people on the wheel. Like it was what was that Invincible? The last Invincible that was on the wheel. He was Mark Eaton. I had got him. I got Reggie Lewis. Like it was still like a shot in the dark, and you had a chance to kind of like timing it. But this year it's ridiculous. Like you would literally get in the slot you're supposed to, and it bounces out on the other side.
Yeah, some of the
I don't know, man. I won 800 games of clutch time last year and didn't get a single player off the wheel, even during events where they had multiple people on the wheel. That's
because of the 2K intern that nerfs your.
Yeah, that's because of the 2K intern.
They definitely got it out for you at that point.
It's for good, Luz. I was at 950, bro.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we were both having rough luck with clutch time. I'd be talking to Wildmont, like, bro, I still haven't gotten.
You have a mutual enemy.
Bro, we would be on the stream. Like he would come in, hey, have you gotten it? Nope. I'll go to the stream. This is my 750th game. I haven't gotten this. So, dog, this is crazy.
I never even got Michael Red, dude. That's the.
I got him like too many times.
That's wild. I never even got him.
You know what? I got him out on those weekend events.
Flex.
I definitely did.
Yeah, it's just flex rush Michael Red. I got multiple Michael Reds on you. Oh man.
But yeah, I also pulled Sean Kemp, from the vault too.
That's crazy, dude. That's so wild.
I can't believe you haven't brought up your Pink Diamond Steph yet, but hold tight.
I'm sure
there is another element to all of this as well. Is how we talk about like casuals not finding anything to do in a short space of time. Correct, if RNG was dialed up, that would be the thing that they could do in a short space of time.
I don't know though. I just feel like the thing about RNG, and this is something that people bring up all the time, is they're like, oh yes, but if we had RNG that was buffed, casual players would hop on with 2 hours and they would play the game. But I mean, they still can't physically see this as something they're for sure going to get after a certain amount of time.
I agree, but it won't be something they definitely won't get.
No, but
it's like now
you need the agenda challenges. Like, I mean, realistically, if you go on MLB The Show and you just look at how theirs is laid out, if you go in there, this is your first time playing this game, you are hopping in month 9 of the cycle, so it's basically almost over, right? You hop in there, you don't see all this stuff piled on top of you, like, oh man, to get this card, like I have to go through 6 months worth of challenges to get this, I have to do this. Like, no, you hop on, you're like, oh, okay, I can play through these 5 moments, it'll take me like an hour and I get a 97 overall card, right? 2K needs stuff like that. They need something where you can hop on the game for the very first time. Like, let's say I buy the game next week, I hop on the first day, I have no cards, I need to see something where I'm like, okay, I can get a 92 overall card right now in about 3 hours. And not like a content creator 3 hours. I'm tired of this Twitter 3 hour stuff. Like, okay, no, yes, you can technically get the takeover player in 3 hours if you spam the same 2 challenges over and over again with like your sweat cap on. I'm talking about like play 10 games of triple threat offline and you get like a ruby, dude. Like stuff like that. Like they used to do.
I don't know. Oh, well, you just actually mentioned it. I don't know if many of y'all remember, but they used to actually do that. Like they would have agenda-based challenges where you would win 20 triple threat online games. You get a diamond D'Lo, or you get an amethyst Lamar Odom. And as a content creator, like I've been doing content since I think 19 or 20.
20.
Yeah, 20. The highest jumps in terms of like player engagement is with those type of grinds, or with the spotlight grinds, or with stuff that people can actually see and they say, okay, I want that, and I can see how long it'll take me. It's not something where it's like, I might get it, but I also can play the game. So I think it's a balance to be met somewhere in there with 2K that I just think every single year. Is it hard? Like, do y'all think it's hard to find that balance? I don't think finding that balance is that hard.
Like, there was a day that set the expectations on all of this, and this is the problem: is that 2K have struggled to meet those expectations since, which was the Amethyst James Harden, which was 5 unlimited wins. And
but they shouldn't struggle. Is my thing. Is like it's so easy. It's right in front of them, dude. They don't have to be as overpowered as James Harden, though. I would
they could drop another James Harden.
I don't think they realized. I don't think they realized how good that Harden was going to be. Yeah. It's the same thing that happened with Terry. I don't think they realized that everyone's reaction would be Terry.
Donovan Mitchell too. I think they haven't made a takeover card as good as Donovan Mitchell since he dropped. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, so I don't disagree with that.
I don't know, dude. Iggy's really annoying. I hate him so much.
I think Anthony Edwards is a close second, third.
CP, as somebody who like grinds a lot, bro, do you like which of those grinds do you notice the more viewers you have? Because again, like we're content creators, we notice off of views. Like it might sound kind of messed up, but your views are proportionate to how many people are searching up that game, specifically as YouTubers. So do you notice the more people when we have those like short intermediate grinds with spotlights or agendas where you can do it in 3, 4, 5 hours, or is it more views where you have those long grinds with the takeovers or those type of cards?
Well, dude, going all the way back to 2K20, I don't even think I had 1,500 subs, but people were constantly tuning in to my Kobe grinds, my Goat Curry, Goat Bird grinds, and then 2K21. And back in 2K21, man, I mean, win 50 games, get Diamond Chris Mullen and TTO. Like win 30 games, get an amethyst. And then there was the grinds last year not last year, but the year before that for Taco, which wasn't a long grind if you're a content creator. It was a tough one, but you can get it done in less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
Then last year, of course, who was the card?
Bro,
I'm trying to remember the grind.
When we got those they weren't spotlights. I forget exactly what it was.
Embiid, yes, Invincible Embiid.
Yeah,
that was another.
Wait, we just have to load in. No, that's for Richard Jefferson.
That was the biggest, highest point in terms of like viewership in terms of my channel. When we got those Embiid grind, bro, like people were all over the videos. They were in streams, like they were everywhere. So I think that's like where we have to kind of be. Also, speaking about that Diamond Mullet, best card ever. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. If y'all didn't get a chance to get that Diamond Mullet in 21, bro, best card ever. I was fading away.
Underrated card, man.
Bro,
his card art was terrible. Fire. The picture on the card was trash.
Well, look, we don't need to talk about 2K21 card art. Do you guys remember Current Series 3 coming out? Oh man, I think they had
about this year's card art. Like, why is everything great? When are we getting?
I don't know, but the card art looks good this year.
Everything looks ashy.
It does, but we need some color.
Very ashy.
Well, yeah, it looks like it's from Pompeii, but it looks good. Like, if you come back and you look at Current Series 3 from 2K21, I'm dead serious. It looks like they gave that assignment to school children and not talented ones, like bad ones.
Well, we know 2K is cheap. Like, they're not going to hire some graphic. Why hire a graphic designer when you can hire somebody else to tell you how to get more money from dudes from packs, bro? You know, they got to manage. You got to manage their expectations.
Yeah, the amount of marketing majors from Stanford they have in that office is ridiculous, and you can just tell by some of the things that they do.
You see, I feel like they had a different group of people make the promo card art, and then one group of people make NBA Series 3, because I remember some of those card pictures were terrible. Like, when some players in the NBA looked at their cards, they'd be like, who chose this?
Kyle Kuzma had my favorite card of all time because it literally looked like a page from like a Christian abstinence book. Like, it was great. I went to Catholic school. I've seen them. Okay. They're the same. AC Green used to be all up in those books.
who do y'all think has the best card art? Like, what was the card art y'all looked at and was like, oh, that's kind of fire right there. Like, that's kind of, what is the
Like
best card art we've ever
Age
got?
of Heroes card art was by far.
Yeah,
the best.
I would say it's pretty close.
Am I the only one who thought that was a little corny? I wasn't
That's why I
vibing
liked
with
it.
I thought it was cheesy.
I wasn't vibing with it. I was like,
I thought it was a little cheesy. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't like the Return of Heroes ones. They were terrible. The OG Age of Heroes ones were the best card art I've seen.
I'm gonna do a shout, and I think my favorite card art of all time is probably Leap Year. Honestly,
yeah,
Out of position.
Yeah.
Out of position 2K20, LeBron's card art. Loved it. I love that card.
Yeah.
Even the goat
graffiti look.
Even the goat card art wasn't that bad when it dropped because it just had like huge goat written on it, but it was gold and it was
20,
like
right?
it looked nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
20 has
2K
some good card art,
bro.
20 has some good card art.
2K fired the graphic designers and they hired more pack people. I'm telling y'all think I'm crazy. I'm a conspiracy theorist, bro. I'm telling you.
They hired someone from the community, didn't they? Who was actually
they hired somebody who was
I can't
really
remember
big
his
on
name.
2KDB.
Yeah.
I believe they used to do a lot of custom cards. I will say the last.
Y'all remember
2
the buzzer
years-
beater packs from
Way
20?
better.
I love that card art too. I used to love it.
Yeah.
I remember the Blake Griffin card he got.
Who runs 2KDB? I've always wanted to ask this question. I just genuinely have wanted to ask this question. Like, who runs?
Is
2K
it a random or somebody who works at 2K?
That's the thing I've always thought. I thought it was a 2K like dude who was just uploading
They
this
be
stuff
on-
for the
they be
community.
on it.
I think his
now
name
might be
is it
official.
Kenny Mack? I think that's his name.
It was somebody from Reddit, I believe.
Yeah.
If I'm
He's
not
usually in
mistaken.
like DBG streams. Yeah,
He's on.
He
it,
does
though,
a
like,
phenomenal job, by the
Yeah.
way. I
Great
love
job.
to.
All right, I got another question for you guys, like in relation to season 2 onwards. What do we think is going to happen with the like trophy case escalation over next season? Do you think it's going to be the same pace? Do you think we're only going to get 5 centerpieces the same way?
I think it's
I-
gonna fall off. I think it's gonna fall off. I think after what 2K did this weekend, how everyone expected the opals to be out by qualifiers, I think people are just gonna start getting whatever trophy case cards they want. They're not gonna care about the lock-ins anymore, and it's probably gonna be that one hardcore grinder who is gonna get the first Larry Bird in the world. But other than that, I think trophy
you did
case
it.
is gonna fall off.
He's probably on this call, if we're being honest.
Nah.
Well, so let me do gameplay when you get him.
I got you, man. Wait,
No.
I wanna talk about this, but can we go back to what you guys were saying about content? Because
Yes.
I believe I'm the first person or the oldest person that's been doing this content thing on 2K at least. So I remember the 2K19 grinds. Those were like that's when I think my viewership was probably best and most fun. That was like the whole spotlights when it was first introduced with the whole Pink Diamond Giannis and stuff, right? That's when like the content would drop.
Oh, that was
And,
When they would drop the Evo cards and stuff.
was amazing.
Yeah, they dropped like a
like
promo
Kareem.
and you just need the cards around it and be able to do that. Like I think that was so easy. It was just like a pack drop every week. Everyone would try out all the cards because you need them anyway. And that was something that now like cards drop and I don't really look at them unless I need it for XP or something like that. So I think they should go back to that. But about the trophy case thing, I'm sorry if anyone wants to talk about that.
I have a question because I wanted to ask this from earlier. Me and Jazz were talking yesterday. Do you feel like certain cards when you use them, they have like kind of like an expiration date? Like when you first use a card, it's like, oh, they're like so good and like, and
Do
it's
they
like
nerf cards?
They absolutely nerf
nerf.
cards.
Yeah,
it's like
I knew.
after a while, it's like they get nerfed, and it's like because when I first used, I was using Scotty on Jazz's account. Like Scotty was hooping, but like not as much as like my Scotty, and there's no difference. They're the same card, but mine is like I just got him. Jazz had his for like a couple of weeks. Do you feel like they do that to cards sometimes?
That's a super interesting question.
Okay, so the thing I always have said is if we get a T-Mac, whenever they're about to release Kobe, that T-Mac's going to start playing like trash. If we get a Shaq, whenever we're about to get a Yao Ming, that Shaq's going to play like trash. It's just, and we can't prove it. Like we have to be conspiracy theorists about it. We can't prove it, but 2K definitely nerfs cards. They nerf them all the time. They nerf the cards that they feel like they have to nerf in order for people to go and buy packs. Oh yeah, this Kobe's so much better than that T-Mac you had now, bro. So they have to do that. Again, we have to go CheapLudez.
I don't think they did it in 2K20. Nah, like
No, they
2K20,
didn't.
I don't believe that they nerfed
Yeah,
any cards. Cards were fine, but I think they do. I think it's actually necessary for them from a business standpoint to actually slightly nerf cards now because you can apply 1 million badges to them. You know what I mean? So it actually makes sense that they would do this now, and I'm not going to hold it against them, but it absolutely is true. It has to be. You know, you can just tell the difference.
Sure. I'm not
The
sure.
first time I ever noticed this was with Blake Griffin in 2K21, because Blake Griffin was so fast.
pink
And it's
diamond?
not, yeah,
The
and it's
level
not that
40, right?
card.
Bro, that card was amazing until like I think we got some type of
Wayne
center.
Embry. Wayne Embry.
Yeah, about Wayne Embry time.
Yeah.
But the issue wasn't that cards were outplaying the card, because it makes sense. Natural progression, the cards will start to get outplayed over time. But I used him in a rookie Dom game where I was doing something for challenges, and I noticed it instantaneously. I was like, dude, he feels so much slower now out of nowhere. And this wasn't far enough into the future where like cards were so fast that you would like, like when you get off the highway and you're driving 40 and you feel like you're going like 10. It's not like that. It was just like only a month or two after he released, and I was like, no, he's taken like kind of a noticeable step down, and I'm wondering why this is. But like I said, it would totally make sense for them to, slightly kind of nerf, maybe not necessarily nerf cards, but maybe buff certain cards, because they definitely buff the newer cards a little bit, just from a business standpoint, or else people would be running the same 30 half badge pink diamond all year long. So.
I want to hear what everyone else has to say on this, but I'm playing devil's advocate. This isn't necessarily how I feel, but there's two obvious arguments to this, right? The first one is limited. Like, the cards felt really consistent to me all year last year, limited. I was using season 1 cards later in the year, so I didn't feel that difference myself. And I think the second thing is, when you go from like a 79 speed card to a 99 speed card with every badge in the game to speed him up, I think everything's going to feel slower at that point. So I think it's part of it is us adjusting to the newer meta, because that is going to be a significant difference. Like,
because even with Tatum, like I'm feeling like I can't hit shots I used to always hit with him anymore. But like, it's still season 1. It shouldn't be that big of a difference between him and other cards. Like, he's still one of the more expensive pink diamonds. That's what I felt like. I'm shooting. I'm like, yo, like, I was locked in with this jumper just last week. I didn't not play the game for like a week. I'm like, there's no reason I can't hit shots I always used to hit. I don't know. I just think it's something I'm always
definitely possible.
About. What about how do you
I was
feel?
gonna say there's no reason for them to like really adjust like limited cards, because they're so much older, like sapphires, rubies, and all that. But when you look at I don't know, like for me, Chris Mullin, the first week or two the game came out, he was so good. I was hitting everything. No one could stop him. Now I can't even use him in a limited game. He literally sucks. Like, I don't know what it is. He just can't play. So that's probably just to get me to buy somebody else that's another end.
Yeah. I mean, we have to realize 2K's entire like marketing at this point is packs. Like, that's what it is. That's where most of their money comes from at this point. Like, you see their revenue streams, they make almost $1 billion plus a year off of packs, like off of microtransactions alone. So they have to incentivize people in order to go and rip more packs and buy different cards at this point. And one of the easiest ways is, just turn the speed down on T-Mac just a little bit. You got to turn down a lot. And then once it, like, especially with how the community works, once it gets through the community, oh yeah, T-Max plays like trash now. Well, everybody's going to try to get the next new card that's in pack. So yeah, it makes from like a financial standpoint, it makes perfect sense for them to go and say, yeah, we're going to just turn the speed down just a little bit. And this jumper is going to be a little slow.
I do believe they only do it temporarily. By the way, I should specify that, because I think it's only for like a very short period of time that these cards will start to feel like this. Because then you'll use, like Jazz said, you'll use them in limited a month or two later, and they'll feel fine. So I think it's just like a little bit of a little nerf just for like a week or two, get the packs cooking a little bit, it's all good. 2K operates from a financial standpoint basically through FOMO and people wanting to be the very, very best Ash Ketchum. Like that's how they encourage pack sales.
I mean, expiration is what drives pack sales. And one way or another, cards need to be devalued or undesirable. CP, what's your thoughts on this?
And you guys seriously just made me think, especially Wildmont. This is a little bit off topic, but I've been talking to a bunch of other content creators lately, from different areas of the game. My career, MyTeam, my NBA, and it seems like a consensus that my NBA is just, far and away just the most fun, most creative, inventive game mode this year. And it's just funny how there's absolutely no money going into it. My team makes 2K so much money from pack sales. My career, people are spending more than ever on builds. And yeah, I agree with you guys. I mean, there's definitely a period where you have a card, you're having fun with it, and all of a sudden it feels like trash. And then all of a sudden these new cards are coming out, and you're like, you know what? I got to pick up that card to replace this one. I got to spend some money, rip some packs, try to pull them, but I don't know. I mean, pack odds this year are terrible. So
I'm an offline dude for all of the games I play. Like when I play Madden, I play nothing but franchise. Like that's the only mode I play. So the one thing I will say, even when I play 2K, I play a lot of like my NBA. The one thing I've noticed, if you don't have to spend money on the mode, you're going to enjoy that mode significantly more because there's no,
for sure.
Yeah, there's no baseline. And because dudes will spend $300 on 2K and be like, I got this car. He's going to be good. He better be good. And I just feel like there's that pressure's off your shoulder when you're playing my NBA or you're playing franchise and Madness, where it's like I can just have fun. I don't have any money invested in it. So yeah, but microtransactions, I don't know. 2K is going to eventually have to they're going to reach a breaking point because their player base is kind of maxed out at this point. Like they've reached everybody new that they can in terms of players who are going to buy the game. Like we're going to buy the game every single year. The same dudes who have played 2K before are probably going to buy it every single year. Yeah, you're going to have kids and stuff. But if you look at their sales are always going up, but it's not like by a lot. It's like a couple 100,000 more here, a couple 100,000 more there. So they have to find a way to generate more revenue. And that's unfortunately through packs, lower pack odds, people rip more, or through microtransactions in my career with VC. So
I think they can make more if they cater to like the casuals. Cause like me and Jazz was talking about this. Like something I'm realizing, like I said, I was enjoying the way shooting is this year, and like I'm fine with it if they don't touch the gameplay besides paint offense.
Yeah.
But then like he also pointed out, like when you load into other game modes, like to the point he couldn't even play TTO online, and already where he's located, not that many people are aware of like, you know, the sport game like 2K or like basketball in general. And the fact that casuals from that region aren't playing to the point where he can't find games, I feel like that's a huge problem. And it's something for me, it's like, it's kind of like conflicting because it's like, I mean, I don't want them to touch the game, but then if no casuals play, who am I?
It's a really good point, Josh. Like everyone, I reckon everyone on this call, you know, can hang with the gameplay at the very least, right?
Yeah.
But like,
is
it? Would I like the gameplay? I've put it out there. That's where I'm at. I like the gameplay. Would I sacrifice that to get more people back on the game? The answer is yes. I would absolutely tone down my enjoyment of this game just so I'm not running into the same guy for 4 hours in DTO on the EU servers. I actually wanted to ask you about this because it's got a little bit better the last couple of days, but you've literally just made that switch, right? Monday, Tuesday, I couldn't get a game, dude. I got 7 games in 4 hours DTO. The point where I just gave up and got Josh to do it because I was like, you're getting matchups in the States. Have you noticed a difference?
So originally, I usually stay up really late, and I'm sure you do too. But like, I'm up to like 4 or 5 a.m. I'm grinding like on stream or whatever. So yeah, at that time, I'm waiting 5-10 minutes to get into a game, and that's something that I don't really feel there. Yeah, maybe I'll wait a minute max if I'm up at 5 a.m. But no, yeah, I definitely noticed that. That's something. I'm blaming myself obviously for being up at 4 or 5 a.m. I'm not expecting everyone to be up at that time. So, when I'm up regularly and just playing, I feel like it depends on the game mode, I'm sure. Like there's definitely some game modes that I'll see it. And it's just at the end of the day, it's the lack of casuals. It really is that. Yeah. So yeah, I'm with you on giving up my enjoyment of the gameplay or whatever it is, whatever that I enjoy just to get more people into it. I'm down for that too.
If I give that up, I just hope it doesn't become bad. Like I'm willing to, because like I enjoy making content, like, you know, meeting new people. That's cool. But I also enjoy playing 2K. It's something I've been playing since I was about 11, 12, and you know, something I still enjoy at this age. But like, I just hope if they do change it, I just hope it's like mostly balanced for everyone. I know it's never going to be perfectly balanced. I know that just will never be possible, but just tolerable enough to where like I can play the game, make content, and then casuals to play. That's all I really want.
I've been playing 2K since 2K2. I know I'm known as like a number one 2K hater, but like I have literally been playing 2K since like 2001.
You are definitely not the number one 2K hater.
No, I'm not. But like, you know, that's my general reputation. Yeah, for sure. Definitely. It's because, you know what? It's because when you love something, man, you just want it to succeed. Okay. And like, I just want it to be a good game again because I remember playing
I love
2K5.
That sentence was amazing.
2K5. Yeah, it's like the movie Beautiful Boy starring Steve Carell. Like You know,
I
I'm
saw
Steve
that.
Carell. 2K is the child. It's Timothy Chalamet. Anyways, like I remember playing 2K5 for the very first time, dude, because I was like an NBA Live kid for sure. I played 2Ks before, but I remember playing 2K5 with Ben Wallace on the cover for the first time, and that was the most blown away by a basketball game I had ever been in my life because no basketball game was that realistic at that time. Not Inside Drive, not whatever trash the N64 had, like none of this stuff. And it's like, I just wanted to get back to that point where I load up 2K and I'm like, okay, no, this is incredible because I haven't felt that since probably, honestly, when they dropped spotlights in 2K20 was the last time I truly felt that way. And I just want to get back to that point, but I don't know if we're going to because of two reasons. 2K has realized that about 90% of their revenue is coming from 1% of the player build, and they're targeting that, or player base, and they're targeting that 1%. That's facts. Like the hardcore player base is responsible for about 90% of their revenue. That's why casuals don't spend money on the game because they're not invested in the game. And number two is the player base itself, and I have to put some onus on them, drive away casuals almost as much as 2K itself does, because the player base, to be honest, is kind of psychotic at times. You can go and jump in like an unlimited game, and dudes will spam 400 party invites at you while you're losing by 30 for no reason.
So I actually want to talk about that a little bit. He's exactly right. The dudes who play 2K are insane. Like they're literally insane.
And I'm talking about the wannabe comp guys, like not anybody, like not like Mos or CP, like
present companies like conveniently.
Yeah. Oh no, we know what you mean.
Yeah. So my thing has always been, especially with this year, the dudes who are wannabe comp are literally crazy because they will they will spam you with invites. They'll full court press you, and if you beat them, you will not hear the end of it. Like I've literally had a dude send me 40 messages on PlayStation after he lost on like a game-winning shot, and I was like, "This is crazy." So also, we have to stop saying casual because casual is literally like 75% of the player base.
I like to taunt them. I like to taunt those dudes. Like,
yeah, you are the most toxic. Yeah, you are.
It's such a good thing. I'm sorry. Like it doesn't take much.
Why are you being part of the problem?
Mic move. If I play and I see your speaker move, I'm putting on the headset. I'm like, yo, what you said? Yeah. Now we're gonna both.
I wish you were kidding, but you're not. Listen, this is a public service announcement. I muted everything, like DMs, everything. My profile completely set to private somewhere around June 21. And this is a amazingly more enjoyable game since. Like,
when you know the fact that you have
don't need friends on PlayStation, you got friends in real life. Just shut it all down,
bro. It's crazy, dog. Like the stuff I've been called in 2K. Like CheapLudez remembers last year. I used to post videos all last year. Like the stuff I've been called in 2K. The stuff people will send you about 2K, and I'm like, dog.
Is YouTube in your name? I think that puts a
no.
I gotta change mine, bro. That like I get targeted like that.
I've literally had dudes.
TTV.
Yeah, no, I see a TTV. I'm playing instantly like 80% harder. Like every time.
It's people like you.
Well, no, it's because I'm also a content creator. So I see that TTV and I'm like, this dude is live on Twitch right now. He's talking crazy. I have to play harder, dude. I have to, or I'll just
I don't want to throw no names. There was a YouTuber / streamer I played, and he talks the most shit in this community when you play him. I'm not gonna say who he is, but I played him last year in limited. You said say it?
Nah.
I played him
because you don't want that drama, bro. Because if you get into me and Luz got into it last year with the comp community, bro.
Oh yeah.
I never want that type of smoke on my Twitter again. Them dudes were on my head for like 2 weeks, dog. Because all I said was, huh?
They was like wager, right?
No, not even that. They were just like, you idiot, you're dumb. I'm like, dog, all I said was that the game is like broken and needs mashing. You guys are the problem with the game. Like, Luz, remember this. Like, we were just like, me and him were at it with those dudes for the longest. And they generate, I'm not going to say the comp community, because most of those dudes are cool, but a lot of the sweatiness that is generated from the 250K tournament in general, just it flows throughout all of my team. I've said it before. My team before the 250K was a really chill mode. The moment 250K came,
it ruined it.
Yeah.
It definitely ruined it. Because like I like the idea that you could compete in a game on like my team, but really like if you look at it and like you look at it like I literally in 20 when Ty started making those defensive
When he started making
videos,
content.
oh God, bro, like that's when it got bad. I didn't even know it was gonna get that bad, but it got bad after that.
This is no diss at Ty because
Yeah,
Ty is a great dude. Like
all.
everything I've heard about Ty is a great dude. But 250K getting added to my team as a mode generated so much sweatiness because you had all of the dudes who were playing Park and who were playing Play Now Online,
right?
Pro-Am, all of those dudes generated into my team trying to make money from the 250K. So as a result, it's just like the sweatiness. Now I can load
individuality too.
Yeah.
There's quite a few reasons I think that people just got way better at the game. Like even outside of time making content, things like
it was the deep hash rim running tutorial. I swear to God.
2KDB was a starting point. I think people started to have quick access to what like a meta card was.
Yeah.
I also think 2K20, no one did anything for 6 months other than play this game. That was probably the biggest kind of skill creep we saw. Like everyone was just labbing.
Yeah, really underrated point, Jazz.
Yeah,
underrated.
Once people learned how to speed move side to side, it was over with in 20 died. Like who was it? Luca? I think it was Luca was a demon in that game because you would hit
Magic too.
Yeah, you would hit a screen and you would just
behind the back.
It's when you figure out the source, because that's the thing. We ain't figured out the cheese yet this year. I mean, mashing is what it is, but I'm talking about, like you just said, Ludes, the deep hash from 20, the quick stops. You know, last year we had the Trey escape, which is like unstoppable. Like we haven't really the speed burst from 21. How I forget that.
I'm hiding that like the Krabby Patty secret formula, bro.
I don't think there's going to be one.
Not getting that.
I don't think there's going to be some one broken move in the game because the whole game's going to be broken at a certain point. Like it's just
layups are the broken move this year.
It's definitely dropped.
Get as far under the basket as possible and just do this.
No. So CP said something earlier that I think is kind of underrated here. He said, and I quote, what you said, nobody drop steps, nobody does anything in the post, right? Once people start,
but there's literally no need.
Yeah.
There's no use.
But after a patch, if they do end up patching paint at all, once people start to realize how to actually do post moves, then it's going to be a real problem.
I don't think so though, because like I don't want them to patch the offense. I want them to buff the defense.
I just want people to do real post moves.
It's working.
That's all I want. I just want people to like what CP does. I just want somebody to do actual like dream shakes, actual like drop steps. Like if I get beat that way, I'm not going to be upset.
I do it regularly. I drop step regularly.
Yeah, I drop step a lot too.
I could counter it. Like if I got like a Patrick Ewing down there, I'm not going to be mad if I get bested in the matchup. Like okay, I shouldn't win this matchup. But if I could at least like it's competitive. Where it's like okay, I get a few stops, he get a few tough buckets. Like, but it's like every time. Like that's what bugs me.
Lose, you say that until you get one of those dudes who know how to skyhook. Once you get one of those dudes who can consistently green you with skyhooks, you're going to change your whole opinion. I
got one already.
Every single possession.
We don't have a couple years ago.
We don't have a Kareem. We don't have a Yao yet. We don't have a
we
don't have a good Xiao yet. We don't have a good Shat yet. So when we get those actual post players, it's going to get ugly because Kareem's what 7'7". He's not even going to have to jump to lay the ball up, bro. It's going to be insane, and then you're gonna have
so unblockable.
Wait,
I think it was 20. Wasn't it 20 that Widom was bad, or was it 21?
It was 20. It was the
21.
middle of 21. Yeah,
21. 250K.
Skyhooking was so. I would jump with like I'm timing the block. No block, straight greens over me, bro.
So y'all got to think we don't have those dominant centers yet, bro. We got the White, Shaq,
I mean,
Kareem,
Will he should be. We got Sabonis. We got Big Z.
I mean, Sabonis is like, but even then, Sabonis wasn't known as the greatest post player. He's like the best center in the game because he can just shoot over the top of people. So when we get the cards that are actually supposed to be able to do that stuff, it's gonna be ugly, bro. It's gonna be ugly.
Right. All right, guys, I'm gonna bring it back in really quickly because I've got like 5 things I want to cover. We've got like 15, 20 minutes left. I just want to make sure we get through all of it. So the last thing we were on, and I think Mos was about to give his thoughts on it, was the trophy case of what happened next.
So we went all the way.
We had a 45-minute segue.
All the way.
W.
That's my fault. I started that. My bad. But yeah,
I'll
go quick this time. I got you.
We're going to check the tape. All right. What do you think is going to happen? So the key thing I want to know is, are they going to make centerpieces either easier to get or more available? And are they going to like ramp it up speed wise? Are we going to get 2 opals next season? What do you think, Mose?
Yeah, I think they're gonna speed it up. There's no way we keep going at this pace, in my opinion, because it's too slow. I'm not thinking they're gonna give us double, because some people are talking about double, like 10, and I don't think it's gonna be that crazy, because then that way we would already be able to finish the East or West or whatever. But I could see them giving us 8 centerpieces to grind for. Maybe they add one into limited or something. Maybe they add one somewhere else. Maybe an extra one in unlimited. I definitely see that happening. We also got to consider the whole token market. I think they're going to change that a whole different way, because everyone's pretty much done with token players.
Yeah.
So, or at least close to it. So what I was thinking is, if you guys remember the locker codes they did with the Miami Heat and the Spurs. You saw those locker codes they did for that. So I'm thinking they do something like that. No, they didn't give us a centerpiece, but it was the 9 other spots that were RNG based. It was the other 9 RNG based.
Yeah, you basically got
so I'm thinking,
yeah,
it was everything but that, and then the 2 that we're kind of missing now with the whatever they're called. I don't know what they're called, but yeah. So I'm thinking they do something like that for each team with the token market, where maybe they do like a series 2 set or a heat check set or something like that, so they could just speed up the process, because we're all kind of, it's too slow paced. The RNG is too crazy. For a lot of them, like people were missing a card for like a good 2 weeks and just keep getting the same card over and over again. And I think they're gonna, I don't think we're gonna be able to finish it East or West by season 2, but I definitely see at least 7, 8 centerpieces. There's no way they keep it at 5. I think that's too small, please.
I agree.
Yeah,
5
no,
and like they need to remove it from TTO. Like, I don't know. Yeah, like you said, they just need to add more, because like playing 100, it's not even like you're playing it. If they even just change it to play 100 games versus win 100 games, I'd be more okay with that.
I agree.
Because to win online, it's not easy, man. It's like no one wants to deal with the dude sitting in the paint because you running wilt. Like, it's just, they gotta add more
reduce the
variety.
wins. Please do not change anything to play, because the entire community will be AFKing for the entire season.
Oh yeah.
Just reduce the wins. Please just make a win mean something, please.
As number 1 AFK fan, I would have to say that I would welcome this change.
Oh, okay, so I have a question.
I'm not encouraging your behavior, Luz. I'll take back what I said. I don't encourage AFK at all.
If they kept RNG the same and they put centerpieces on the wheel with more, do y'all think more people would play?
Oh, hell yeah.
Absolutely.
If they kept
On the
RNG
wheel?
the same.
Yeah, but they
put centerpieces on the wheel.
player, and then they have the takeover player and the centerpiece at the same odds. Do you think more people would play?
People
They would have to
I don't
increase
think
the
anyone
RNG
loads up the
just
game
slightly.
mode right now in the hope of getting an RNG card. I don't think that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's not a thing right now.
Yeah.
So this is one of my other things on season 2. CP, you lead us off with this one, because I don't want Ludes to, because I know where it's going to go. Are we going to get an unlimited nerf? And what I mean by that is points and like lift and centerpiece requirements, all of that stuff, because of AFK, because I already tried it once, right? What do you think?
Oh Lord, I mean, we saw the outrage that happened when I tried it the first time. I mean, we don't have to touch on that again. That was awful. Man, it is so tough, because you get rewarded for winning the game, you get rewarded for losing the game. 2K is really going to have to find a way to find the people who player lock and make it all the way to the end of the game. Or they could just, if you're AFK, you get kicked out of the game after a while. It's kind of like how if you just player lock the shooting guard, your center inbounds to the point guard, they bring it up the court, they run the offense with you behind half court. I mean, that just sucks. So
it should be like rec. When you stand around too long, you get kicked out the game.
Yeah,
exactly. It's got to be like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're just sitting in place long enough, the game should recognize that, because they can recognize it in other game modes. There's no reason why they shouldn't recognize that in MyTeam.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're 100% right. I'm just fully aware that if they make it like a minute, that you're going to see someone touch their controller every 50 seconds and just keep doing the same stuff.
I would like to clarify
are so clever, dude.
that when I hype the AFK stuff, I am only trolling. I would like to clarify this.
I'm
trolling Jazz specifically.
I don't think you're trolling.
I am trolling, dude.
I've been in your
I've played player lock sometimes.
You're not trolling, bro. I've been in your streams where you're yelling and raging.
Look, I'll be honest. Part of the reason I like. Part of the reason I don't really hate AFK as much as other people is because I can only say that I am probably the worst person in this entire call right now. And getting against an AFK guy helps my self-esteem a little bit because I get that much needed win. That being said, they should implement exactly what you guys were talking about. Something like what Rec has. Yeah, just like a timing.
Just don't
and
reset
Jazz is
it.
also right though. The people who really take the AFK lifestyle super serious are just gonna like flick the stick every like 36 seconds, and which isn't even true AFK, so they're not even living the creed. You know,
I think we got to make them do
I
that.
think it should be like
they gotta do one lap of the
accumulated.
court.
I think it should be like accumulated time of like, I don't know what the right time would be, but like instead of having it was like, oh, if you stay still for this amount of time, it resets after you move.
Yeah, that's a good
I'd
idea.
rather it be like accumulated. Like let's say you staying still for about more than 90 seconds, you're automatically kicked out the game. Let's say you try to do like AFK and you try to flick your stick every now and then so you don't get kicked out. Now, like if you
I'd also kick people
some amount of time of standing still, get them out of there.
sitters.
Yeah, that will also kick people in the sit corner. It's clever. All right, I've got a couple more for you guys. Do we think we're going to see a nerf on CPU difficulty next season?
I pray to God. I pray to God they do.
No.
I hope they do. If they know what's good for them, they would. That's what I would say.
They should, but they're not going to. Like,
I don't know. I think season one's always a trial season. I feel like this is not the game we're going to be playing the rest of the year.
But
definitely.
The thing I've noticed is 2K has like certain things they want to implement. Like they have that they're stuck like in the ground on. They're not going to change. So I think that might be one of them because a lot of times, especially when it came to grinding for like level 40, people would just cheese the CPU and do it like that, or they just cheese the agenda and do it like that. So I think this is something they probably are going to purposely keep just to make it a little bit difficult for people to get those rewards.
Yeah,
So
you
laughed.
Why did you laugh, Mos? What I really want to know what that laugh was about.
No, I mean, like we all said, or everybody said, they should, but they probably won't. I think our cards are going to get better. We're going to get used to it more. We're going to learn how to cheese the CPU and all that stuff, which, why am I trying? I should be playing it like without trying, but it's a part of the game. And I think it'll get easier as we keep going. But I agree with the whole triple threat offline thing. Like we shouldn't play that many games when it's harder difficulty. So I've been literally using Evos throughout clutch time offline and triple threat offline, and it makes it easier. So I don't really care that much. Personally.
I've never looked at a grind, and like I'm more likely to do all the takeover grinds in one season than ever completing the TT offline grind in a season.
There's no incentive to either. So besides the centerpiece, the cards that they would drop too, like in TT, they wouldn't even be super. It's like, oh yeah, I gotta grind it, bro. I would never. Even when I was like super duper casual at the game, I never once looked at TTO offline and thought, let me complete this game mode.
So,
no.
Am I the only one here who likes TTO online? I mean, offline? I think I might be the only one here who actually likes TTO offline.
I hate it, to be honest.
Nah,
I've looked at IKEA instructions with less contempt than I look at TT offline right now.
You know, Blaze and Rix is like the personification of that meme right now. You know, the coffee meme. That's how he's going to be staring at screen.
I mean, like, the first weekend of the NFL season, I did like 175 of those games, and I didn't notice the difficulty until Luz told me, because he was like, "Hey, bro, do you notice how hard it is to win offline?" I was like, "No, what do you mean?" And when I went to the difficulty, I was like, "Oh." And once you notice it, It's like, "Oh, this is a lot harder, bro. Like this is kind of weird." But yeah, I kind of like offline. I'm a bum sometimes. I want to sit at home, eat burgers, and just play the game a little bit.
I can't
sometimes
even play the game.
Like, you can't. Nah,
I need both hands.
Nah, bro, I be having half a burrito and half of a controller in my hand. Bro, okay, this isn't about 2K. Let me tell y'all how bad my burrito obsession is. Every time I walk into Moe's, the dude literally just hands me my bag, bro. Like we're on the first name basis. He's like, "Hey, man," I be like, "What's up, Saul?" And he will hand me my bag.
What you get your burritos,
bro? What? All right, first off, if you get beans on your burrito, it's time to go and have a little conversation with yourself. We going rice? No, Mose. All right, so we're going rice. We gotta get the fresh off the grill steak, right? Fresh off the grill steak. We go get some salsa, we go get some cheese, some jalapenos, and then put a little queso on top of that, right?
Oh, you made me hungry.
Yeah, I'm finna go to Moe's as soon as we're done.
I'm
They're waiting for you with your bag right now. They heard you speak.
You literally, I do the what is the thing called where you can do it from your phone? Every time I walk in there, he just hands me the bag at this point, bro. But he did it in front of like some girls last time, and I kind of felt sad because like I was like, is this really what my life is come to?
I don't think it's us that need to look at ourselves, dude. I think when you're
you out here getting beanless burritos.
Yeah, bro,
I don't even want to talk.
Okay, beans are such a weird food for me because it's like I don't understand why they're there. Like, what is the point of beans? Protein. What is the nutritional protein? I don't care about that. I want good food, bro. Why are you putting black beans on my burrito? I don't want that. Like
why are you out here just going at big
other than burritos?
Right,
what are you eating beans with, bro? Who just get like it's this
chicken
British
and rice?
Food. You eat beans, chicken, and rice?
Yeah, when I go to like the Spanish spots over here, the little Dominican spots, yeah, they got that. The Cuban spots, they got that.
I know people that just eat straight beans. So
British people, that's why them dudes don't like me in my chat. I be flaming them dudes all the time. Beans and toast, that junk be having me dead. Dog.
You just got blacklisted on the podcast.
What did I just catch?
Jazz. British food is weird, dog. Y'all be having
the best
pot roast, beans, and cheese with eggs. Roast? You don't know what
pot roast is straight American. That's
you don't know what pot roast is, bro?
Yeah,
you just told us I eat American food. So I don't know.
Jazz put me on how to say spaghetti the right way. I'd be like, yeah, I'm having spaghetti. He said, that's it? I said, what do you mean? Like, yeah, you know, the ground beef and the sauce? You mean spaghetti bolognese? And now every time I'm having dinner, I always think of Jazz.
I'm so proud of you.
I never knew that.
Hold on, what is the name of it?
Spaghetti bolognese.
Is that bolognese?
That's crazy. No. Okay, so Jazz, what's your favorite food, bro? Like, let me hear this. What's your favorite food?
So I'm Indian, so Indian food.
I think he meant what's your favorite English food?
It's getting hot.
Yeah, like your favorite British food, like that is strictly
everyone's
British. Like over here in America, what is a strictly American food that like we?
A cheeseburger.
That is
so hard to think of something that doesn't make it sound like a
American
meme.
in that.
Like, I don't want to say fish and chips. Like,
I've seen y'all eating like beans and toast, and I was like, nah, this is. I thought it was a meme at one point until I saw like a real like at football games, y'all have bean and toast. Like they will put beans on toast.
Is it like baked bean? Like what
kind of bro? It's like baked beans on toast, bro. Like, it's
like the is it like the savory kind or like sweet?
Jazz, you said you wanted to avoid segues, but this is not.
But I like that. I like that.
You would eat strictly beans and toast? That is insane.
No. I eat beans with rice, and like, I'm not gonna say what I eat it with because if I say it, I know like everybody in the comments is gonna come for me. So I don't even want to say.
What do you eat? Like you eat pulled pork? Like what do you eat?
Franks and beans, bro. Like you chopped up Franks, beans, and white rice. That's
beanies and weenies.
That's what y'all call it.
Weenies. Oh my God.
I'm from the South.
Franks and beans.
I'm from the South. We call it beanies and weenies. CP,
back
me up on this. CP, back me up on this.
I got family in the South. That's probably what it's called, but I call it Franks and beans.
Back me up on this. It's called beanies and weenies, right?
I'm sorry.
To anyone watching this right now, we skipped over 5 or 6 pretty triggering subjects to do a global breakdown on
beanies and weenies.
Real quick, I just got to say, Wildmont, he's taking this opportunity to take shots at everybody. The British, people who like beans, redheads. He's taking shots at everybody. Everybody's catching strays. Even Bulls fans caught strays earlier.
I'm in here. You know, I catch strays all the time.
I roast the South also though, because we fry everything. Like, why are you eating a deep fried Oreo? What is wrong with you? Like, what is wrong with you, dog? Like, if you go to the South, you're gonna leave 10 pounds heavier. I guarantee you, dog. Like, it's crazy down here.
I've been up into the South.
We fry.
Yeah.
That's where my mom's side of the family is from.
Bro, we fry everything.
It's a wonder I'm not obese.
Oh yeah, me too, bro. I used to be. I was 250. I was a thick boy. I was down here eating chicken every day, bro. I was swole, dog. I was one of them dudes. Like when I walked to the store, my chest was like banging. I was like, "This is a good little breeze we got right here." Like I was one of them big guys, bro. So I had to slim down. But yeah, the South got the best food, bro. Because you got barbecue.
You made KillaJosh do a genuine love. Like there it is. All right, guys, bro, I got 2 more things for you because we're approaching 2 hours. We got wrapped. So I got one more subject for all of us, and I got the same question for all of you. But the last subject is maybe the most controversial. Are we actually going to see a gameplay patch, a casual friendly gameplay patch at the start of season 2?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
I won't say at
Maybe
the start
not
of
at
season
the
2.
very beginning, a
Yeah,
little
but-
deeper into the season.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
yes.
I was expecting it before 250. Like I really thought they would have did it before 250 because that's like the signature thing. They like to change it. I forgot. I think it was 20. They had stopped something that was like cheesy in the game. I think it was
Talking
like
about the step back move that they did in 20.
Yeah, I don't know. I know something
Yeah.
was patched literally the day of 250. So I thought
Yes.
that's something that they were gonna do this year.
It was
So
something they did
I'm
with
really not
Magic,
sure.
wasn't it? 20. I can't remember
was-
what it was. They patched basically Magic. He had like an unstoppable move.
Yes,
I
he had
can't
like an
Yeah.
unstoppable step back or something of that nature.
Yeah, they
Some
patched
type
it.
of dribble move. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, I personally think that they will have a patch because I think after this season, 2K will get the reports on the numbers of people who actually play this game and how long they play this game, and they will radically shift to make sure those numbers go up. So
Okay.
that's what I think.
So when is the end of their financial quarter?
December. Yeah, I think. I want to say.
It might
Yeah,
be a
because
while.
that's the last financial quarter of the year. I believe it's from September to December.
So if they see lower like revenue, they're definitely going to switch something.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
gonna have to.
100%.
They're gonna have to fix something. I mean, we're kind of just at this point to where do y'all think them complaining all day today will affect it though? Like, do you think they'll do something different?
Yeah,
don't think
that's
so?
my answer to this question.
Yes.
I think today is gonna push
I
that.
think
Like
today's
for me, it
company-
was always inevitable that a patch was going to happen, and I think
Yeah.
they've let it run for a bit, which is fine. I'm actually like okay with it, but they need the casuals back on the game, and I agree with what Mo said earlier. I think the content is actually there
Yeah,
to
solid.
bring casuals on the game, but I think
Yeah.
the gameplay is what's driving them away more. Like the challenges that casuals are facing are not something that any of us on this call will face. We've all been playing this game
Yeah.
for 4 years, can adapt quickly. So I think a gameplay patch is, I would put money on it at this point in the next 2 weeks.
Something I gotta bring up. You can go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go CB. You good?
I think something that we gotta distinguish. You guys all know this. The term casual is always thrown around as like an insult, like you're a casual when talking about something. But a casual is not really a bad term. It's somebody who just hops on the game. They're not a big sweat. Maybe they're a basketball fan in real life. They just want to get some of their favorite players. Build a team from the ground up. They just want to play the game in the free time they have. Like that's a casual. If you're not like exactly a sweat, I'd say casual and enthusiast are pretty close. Like you enjoy the game a bit more than the casual if you're an enthusiast.
Yeah.
But if you're a casual, you hop on and you enjoy playing the game. I feel like MLB The Show, like Ludez brought up earlier, it's just so much friendlier for casuals to hop on and play and just get good cards immediately and get rewarded. You gotta give the casuals something to grind for that doesn't involve 250 games won, 100 games won, 135 games won across so many game modes. Like the casual player is not an insult. It's just the majority of the player base because they hop on the game, they enjoy it, but they don't really sweat it like some of
you're
us
right.
do and like the majority of people we play online do.
Wow,
Also-
look at this. A healthy mindset about 2K. What
Look
is
at us.
going on?
Look at
Also,
oh my.
Impossible.
Imagine being a dude who loads up for the first time and you see MyTeam and all of the stuff. It's kind of daunting. I'm not gonna lie. Like you see domination, you see triple threat, you see clutch. Okay, I see these trophy case players. How do I get these players? So I have to do this to get these players, but I have to do that. So I think they have to bring it down just a little bit. Give somebody one entry point where they can start from. Like if they can do that, that'd be very, very good. Whether or not it's a weekly agenda, which is what the takeover players were supposed to be, but we now understand that 20 hours isn't something a normal person is going to be able to do. So they have to just give a starting point for people to go, this is where I'm going, and then I can work my way out from here.
The thing is, bro, like for most people's definition of what a casual is, and I say most people, I'm a casual. I
Yeah,
barely
me too,
touch the game Monday to Wednesday. Honestly,
Yeah.
I play maybe a couple of hours over that time. I play a little bit more at the weekend, mainly because I have to. I haven't done any of the takeover grinds apart from D Mitch. Like, I haven't exactly been sweating it out here. This is where I'm going to play devil's advocate on a lot of this because it's been quite negative, this particular podcast. But I want to provide a bit of balance to it because, like I said, I'm not grinding the game out. I'm nowhere near burnt out or, feel like I'm overplaying the game. And my squad is perfect for me. Like, there are people saying there's no budget cards in the game. There's a ton of MT in the game. It's not difficult to pick up a 30k MT card after playing for a couple of hours. I'm really happy with my team at every stage. Like, I don't feel like I need to go into the auction house for anything. And that is a W at the end of the day. Like I said, I'm not grinding this game like a madman and sitting there and obsessing it. I work a job, I'm married. I've got a podcast that basically takes up my whole weekend.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sitting here in a position to do that. And I am happy. So I think there is an argument to a lot of what we've been talking about, which is, do you need to do this stuff? Like, if I don't have Jason Kidd in my team, does that affect me? No, it doesn't.
Yeah, but
at all.
Okay. That's one of the things I will openly say I've been kind of too critical of, is the fact that like all of the stuff, like the takeover cards, I was one of those dudes that was like, every single one of these cards should be attainable for everybody. And I sent out that tweet and it kind of just, see, me and you were the same way. I think it should be. But I also sent out that tweet that was talking about it, and I got a lot of people saying, well, just don't do it. That's a negative way to think about 2K, but I definitely get what you're saying, where you're saying like you're a casual and you can do it. I just think there has to be.
The thing is, bro, like everyone looks at it through their own lens, right? Like I'm going to kind of sum up. So you take someone like Mos, who does this for a living, right? You know, CP cries this game heavily. 2K have to provide content from there for them, and I know there is this idea that okay, well, there should be something for everyone, and I agree. But I think actually people don't do that. They don't look at it and go, oh, well, there should be something for this person. They actually look at content and go, that specific content isn't for me and I don't like it. Yeah. I think that's the mentality that leads. Like people saying that you can't get a cheap point guard or whatever. Like I'm running Marcus Smart as my point guard right now.
It's one
I've got
of those
Ami Steph as my point guard right now. These are not players that I'm like concerned about or, you know, heated about the fact that I don't have Jason Kidd or anyone else. I think a lot of the negativity comes from a skewed mentality, which is not that content has been put in for someone like Mos or someone like CP or any streamer or any big creator that plays this game a lot, or someone at home that's sweating and wants to play comp or whatever. The feedback I always see is like internal. That's not for me, so I'm annoyed.
The thing about it with the market is I totally understand where you're coming from. Where we understand like, oh yeah, 10,000 really isn't anything. After an hour and a half, like you can get 10,000, like it's no problem. But I introduce a lot of new people to my team. Basically, I force pretty much all of my friends to play my team. Like that's my whole thing. And like all the feedback I've received from them, you know, because I'm just trying to get them like hooked on the game mode too, so I can play with my friends and stuff. And it's like a mental thing. Like if you hop on and you see that the card, not even a card that you want, but just like one of the cards that would fit the role for your team is 10,000. Yes, in theory, I could sit behind you all day and tell you, dude, it's only like 2 hours. You can get 10,000. It's fine. But it's the mental thing. But if you hop on and it's like 2,000, you're like, oh, dude, I'm good. I can have that in 30 minutes. Like, it's,
I mean,
one
the thing that's undeniable, Ludes, is people are not playing the game. So I'm not saying that I'm right. What I'm
absolutely. I totally understand.
Is try to create a mentality that where maybe a few more people could think like I do, because I'm enjoying the game. I don't feel like I'm missing out. I don't engage in FOMO at all. That's it. Right, guys, we're going to have to wrap this pretty quick. It's been 2 hours. It's been the easiest podcast by a mile, to the point where I have 20 things to discuss that we didn't even cover.
Let me finish it off right. Let me just ask every individual person, what is your current thoughts on the state of the game? Like, do you like it? Does it need to be improved? Do you hate it?
I mean, it went down. It just needs to be improved. Just one thing needs to be improved, and it's the gameplay. Other than that, I'm fine with the game.
All right. Mos, how do you feel? Like, where are you at with the game?
I'm fine personally as a person, but I want it better for everybody else at the end of the day. Like, I want people to stop complaining. That's one thing. I just want everyone enjoying the game as much as me, which is never gonna happen. And at the end of the day, I just hope that's where we go. And if this is the last time I'm gonna talk, which it might be, I want to say thank you to all of you guys. I love every single one of you. I appreciate everything you guys do. And CP, man, thank you for grinding, because it helps me keep pushing. It helps me grind, and I do it because other people do it. So thank you.
Same to you. I watch every single video, no matter how long it is. And your videos get long. That is not a bad thing. Keep it up.
I also want to say, CP, I love your shirt, by the way. I meant to say that at the beginning.
Oh, dude, right. Soldier Boy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, from the boy.
Wait. Is that
easily the best character in the show?
100%. Yeah, I wanted to comment on that earlier, but I forgot. So,
CP, what's your overall thoughts?
Man, I know I said earlier I preferred 2K22 at this point of the year, but for what it's worth, I've been playing 2K23 so much more, you know. I'm in grad school at UAB, yet I've been doing all these takeover grinds along with my school, along with work. And I've actually enjoyed, doing some of the shorter ones, but there's no question that the grinds are a bit tedious. So maybe they reduce the games you got to play for them. Maybe they, increase the time limit. The grinds are crazy. They're driving, casual players away. People don't want to do them. The gameplay, I feel like there's aspects of it that are good, but it's definitely not perfect. So we got to see some tweaks. The state of the game, content-wise, pretty good. Gameplay-wise, we definitely need some improvement. And, we'll see where they go in Season 2. I think that there's things 2K's willing to change. I remember back when grinding for Pink Diamond Steph Curry, you would get 1,500 XP for finishing all of Domination. So, there's things they'll touch. There's things they'll improve. We'll just have to see what steps they take as the game moves forward.
I agree. Wildmont, have you gone?
Judging by my Twitter, you might think I absolutely disguised it. You might think I hate the game. I actually play the game a decent amount. I just think we have to find a balance to where you can get those base level players into the mode. Other than that, the content is fine. The trophy case players are absolutely fine. I think the centerpieces should be a little a little easier to get. The gameplay, the mashing can get semi-annoying, but when you play a guy who actually wants to play basketball and not want to drive to the paint, the gameplay is actually super solid. It's just that one thing. And then other than that, the game is pretty decent. It's just we have to fix those little things to where those guys at the bottom can just have more fun. Because I have a lot of people who DM me, hey, I like your content. The game is just hard this year. And I'm like, I completely understand. I get it, bro. You have nothing to hear from me, bro. So I want those guys to be back enjoying the game.
Yeah, perfect. Did everyone go?
Yeah.
I lost track. Did you go, Ludes?
Yes, so I did pretty much the entire time.
It's been 2 hours.
Yeah, I like where the game's at. I have to agree with Mos and CP on I'm probably playing the game more than I played 2K22 at this stage. It's also making me so much angrier to the point where I'll be an hour and a half into stream and I have to turn my stream off because I'm about to start saying things I shouldn't be saying because I'm super angry. But I just think they need to tone the grinds down. And just fix paint defense. And that's literally it. Because if I just stop being mashed and backdoor cut every single possession, I'll probably hate this game a little bit less. And if there's things that I can grind that take me less time, I'll probably hate this game a little bit less as well. So that's it.
Just simple.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, super simple. That's it.
I'll go. I'm still pretty high on the game, to be honest. I think the way that I play it and the way that I approach it is good for me. And I'm just not fussed about the things that I can't do, which just makes the experience just way, way better. And I think for anyone out there who's, not high on the game, just try that for a bit. Don't worry about the things you can't get. Focus on the things you can get. And you can make progress in this game. Is it ideal? No. It's not. It needs some work. We need to see some improvements in Season 2, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not really as fussed about the gameplay, but I think concept-wise, it would just be good to see a reduction in a lot of things. Because I would like to do some of this stuff. I think that's the only thing. I would like to do some of this stuff. I just know it's locked for me right now. Takeover's locked for me. RNG's locked for me. Centerpiece Grinders to an extent is locked for me. I want to be able to engage in a lot of this content a little bit more. That's it, guys. We're going to wrap it there. Have you guys had fun?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
It's been a super easy one. It's been a really, really easy one. Thank you so much for coming on. I just want to shout this back to anyone watching this. Again, thank you so much for the support on the podcast. It's really it's kind of creating a life of its own right now. I've got some messages from some people this week, which are pretty exciting as well in terms of where the podcast could go in the future. So I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who supports this in any way, shape or form. But for me and the guys, we'll catch you on the next one.